NCWLIFE Channel Sports is proud to present live racing action at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by CASA of Chelan and Douglas County. Make a change in a child's life. And East Wenatchee Mini Mobile Storage, Wenatchee Valley's premier storage facility. Tonight's coverage is also a presentation of our all sports sponsors: Harvest Valley Pest Control, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Confluence Health, Les Schwab Tire Center, Biosports Physical Therapy, Impact Auto Sales, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Town Toyota, Automoca, JDSA Law, Weinstein Beverage Company, and Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Now let's go to Fancher Heights for live racing action on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. And a good evening and welcome to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval for our fourth race on the NCWLIFE channel, along with Greg Rentz, Eric Granstrom, and a cast of very few. Again, unfortunately, no fans in attendance due to the restart and rephasing here in the state of Washington. Douglas County only in a 1.5, and we're in that holding pattern for, well, what seems like forever, and who knows when we'll get to fans once again. We have 3 more races to come here at the Super Oval this year. It'll wrap up in late September. We have our fingers crossed that you'll be able to join us in person come late September, but for now, your choice is right here, watching it on NCWLIFE channel, and we appreciate you being here, no matter whether you're watching us locally on television on Local Channel 12, Charter Channel 9, Northland 93, or you're watching us on the stream at ncwlife.com. And of course, our Facebook fans would love to hear from you and see where you are watching us here tonight as we get ready for 5 classes of races here this evening. We've already had the qualifications in 4 of the 5, and we will shortly bring you the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models and their qualification runs here at the quarter-mile asphalt track. The temperature's warm, but not too warm. The wind is an issue right now, and we're hoping that that wind will lay down. We've got gusts up to 30 miles per hour here this evening so far. Dust not a factor right now. Thankfully, the hills across the way starting to regrow some of that wheat that was harvested before our first race and caused some dust storms. But right now, anyway, good track conditions and good race conditions for our racing here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Now, aside from the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models we have here tonight, we also have the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models, the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners, as well as the Bandaleros. A huge field. We've got, 50 some odd racers here and teams. And Greg, this is going to be a great night for racing.
I'm excited, Eric. 4 classes of the 5 here tonight, double-digit car counts. The highest being the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners, 15 strong for them tonight. We've already qualified 4 classes. We got the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models coming up here momentarily. 12 of them on deck here tonight, so we will be ready for qualifying here in just a moment as we get set. 12 cars in action for the Pro Lates tonight.
Yeah, now, of course, Glenn Knutson has been absolutely on a tear, but he finally didn't finish first here just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, just last weekend at State Line Speedway, Post Falls, Idaho, the 6-race streak snapped by California's Jeremy Doss coming up, and that was a battle that a lot of fans in the Northwest have been clamoring for and wanting to see over the last year or so. Glenn Knutson versus Jeremy Doss. We got to see it last weekend at State Line Speedway in Post Falls, Idaho, 200 laps, and it was a wild one. 43 cars showed up to that race, Eric, and at the end, it was Doss coming out on top, but it was a wild one for sure.
43 cars. I know that track is a little bit bigger than the one we have here, but that's a lot of cars on the track.
Yeah, 43 cars. What we did was we only took 26 at that race last week. So we had a wild night in the B main, cars trying to get in. The LCQ on Saturday night was 50 laps, trying to get 2 cars into the race with 18 cars going for those final 2 spots. It was wild from start to finish, and it's just so much fun.
Glenn Knutson out of Quincy, of course, this kind of a home track for him and his brother Michael. Besides Glenn and what he's been able to do and really really, I mean, dominate here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Who do you expect and who do you look out for here tonight?
There's a couple different contenders in the field tonight. The one that I'm going to keep my eye on is the number 33. Chad Holliday is back in a pro late model here tonight, driving the car that Rocky Crocker has driven the first 2 races. Car number 33 was a Preston Peltier car from the East Coast. I'm keeping my eye on him for the race here tonight. Chad Holliday, 2016 track champion in this series. There's another guy we're going to talk about that we may have to keep an eye on, and we'll talk more about them as they come in. A couple of different contenders and some surprises in the field tonight, but as far as competition for Glenn, the one I'm keeping my eye on is Holliday.
Well, we're going to have the roar on the track here momentarily. You can kind of hear the wind blowing through our microphones. We've got the track mic turned down right now, but we might have to turn it down a little bit more when the pro late models take to the track. It is Les Schwab night here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. We appreciate the sponsorship by Les Schwab. Of course, year-round, and the Les Schwab Toy Drive here locally will again kick off here this fall, and we look forward to that. And, of course, COVID restrictions as a member of the board of directors for the Les Schwab Toy Drive. They are, going to meet this week to talk about COVID restrictions and what that might look like here coming up this fall at the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. So we're about ready to have our first car take the track. Greg, tell us about how qualifying works here for the pro late models.
Pro late models different than what we've seen already. We had group qualifying for our other classes. This is single car qualifying, 2 laps with a warm-up lap that Stephen Blankenship in the number 47 just took the 1-2 green, had a Tacoma, Washington. First race of the season here at Wenatchee for the number 47, and he has only made a couple of trips here in the past, so good to see him come out. I was honestly kind of surprised to see his name on the entry list, and here he is out for the start of the race. He's going to set the bar, and he got a big slide there up in turn number 2, so big slide out of Blankenship. Makes the save, but that's going to make the first lap a wash. It'll be credited as a 15.804, and when you're running in the middle of the 13s, do you really want to have that? And that's not what he wanted for that lap.
We have had some issues with some possible leakage by some of our other vehicles here tonight, so we'll keep an eye on the track for that. Second lap for Blankenship.
A little bit quicker, but not what he wanted. 15.676. In this number 40 car, this is Steve Floyd, a many-time veteran driver of this racetrack. But this car was the race winner in Hermiston a couple of weeks ago with a different guy behind the wheel. A guy named Brent Harrison in the exact same spot that Blankenship got loose there. He got loose at the exact same time. So
gonna have to look at that part of the track
We're
right
gonna
there.
have to check it out because that's 2 identical things. And remember, we had issues with the very last car to qualify in the Roadrunners right before that. We had some heavy smoke come out of a Roadrunner right before this happened, and they checked the track and it passed the eye inspection, but there might be something out there that the track crew didn't catch because they are slipping and sliding. And Steve Floyd coming up to talk to our official up there and say, hey, there's something out there in turn number 2, as both him and Blankenship had the same problem up there in the opening lap. They are going down to check on the racing surface right now, kind of dragging their feet up in turn 3 right now, but the big one's up in turn number 2 right now because that's where both cars have had the issue.
So taking a look at the track are the race officials right now, and it was obvious that he got loose coming out of turn 2, same as our first qualifier here tonight. We're talking about Blankenship, Steve Blankenship, who, by the way, is having his 45th or 46th birthday on Monday.
Hey, happy birthday. Coming out and spending it here at the track.
So after a quick look, looks like they're going to give maybe another opportunity. Our flagman, who is Jason Wilson, is not in the flag tower right now, and actually they're going to bring out
the sweep truck, so it looks like they may have found something. Now, this begs the question. I wonder, Steve Floyd will get another shot because he backed it down. He did cross the strike to take the green, but he was not going, so
I think it'd be fair to get another shot. Back it up and maybe give Blankenship another shot.
That was my question, is are they going to give Blankenship another chance if it was me calling it, yes, but that's not my decision to make. I just talk about what I see here
right.
going on in front of me.
Well, speaking of Steve Floyd, the man who was just out on the track and gotten a little loose, I had a chance to get down to the pits yesterday, and I'll give a little heads up and opportunity for Uriah Darby back in the studios to see if he could pull up that interview I did with Steve Floyd to talk about, well, his race weekend here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval.
Well, a little break in the action here and a chance to talk to one of our Pro Late Model drivers here with the Jerry's Auto Supply Classification 1 of 5 running this weekend at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. As they start up the mean machine behind us, Steve Floyd, you've had one race other than being here this weekend. Tell me about that weekend for you.
Well, that weekend we took the car down, and my friend right here, Brent Harris, drove it in Hermiston, Oregon, and we had a really good outing there. He ended up winning that race, so we thought we'd come try this one.
Tell me about what racing here at the Super Oval and how you dial this car. And we're here on Friday, of course, during practice. And what are you looking for here tonight?
It's hard to tell. We put some new tires on it, and so we're just trying to make it work. I don't know. The car's it's really tight right now because of the track conditions and stuff. But we'll let it cool down and see what it does. Get it closer to race time.
I noticed you went over to one of the other drivers and peered in his window real quick, just trading information.
No, what I did is got a hole in the radiator, so I was looking for some stop leak, and he had some, so I stole some of his.
Just a little bit of everything, right?
Exactly.
So tell me about your interest in racing. How did it start for you?
Started back when I was 12 years old, and I don't want to say how old I am now. But yeah, I got into go-karts, and me and my brother, and then we just kept going from there. Me and my dad used to race, and I used to watch him all the time, so I had the opportunity.
It was watching Dad that really got you into it.
Yeah, it was. And then I had the opportunity to come race. I've raced for a couple people before, but the Ogle family, they've been around here for a long time, and Jason and Cheryl are great people, and they let me do this and let Brent do this. So
it's one of the cool things about not just the Super Oval celebrating 50 years now, but I mean, just being around racing, it seems to be a real family affair.
It is, definitely. Yeah, this is my dad. My dad's over here. My son will be here tomorrow. Yeah, it's fun.
Well, best of luck this weekend. Thanks for taking the time.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go. One of our many Pro Late Models here this weekend racing at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
And thanks once again to Steve Floyd for taking the time to join us here on Wenatchee Valley Super Oval coverage on the NCWLIFE channel. And as you can see by watching your screen, yes, we do have some fluid on the track, and so the crews are taking care of that. And while they do, it'll give us a chance to thank some of our sponsors for helping us bring you the race coverage here on Wenatchee Valley Super Oval night. It's Les Schwab night here on the NCWLIFE channel. We'll come back with more right after this.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Are your friends and family? You see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Welcome back once again, and we got going and then we stopped. That is sometimes the situation with racing, as the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models are trying to qualify here for tonight's race action at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Along with Greg Rentz, I'm Eric Granstrom. Thanks to everybody for watching us here tonight on our Facebook feed, and get a chance to say hi to folks. Somebody complaining about commercials. Well, you know, stuff happens. Hello, Sean Turner. Hello, Lacey Weller. Let's see who else is watching us here. You said we had some folks in the Omak, Okanagan area.
I saw some Ellensburg. Hello to everybody watching.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, sometimes life can throw you a little curveball. Such was the case at State Line last weekend, eh?
Yeah, we had this exact situation happen. Problem was it was in the actual race, as looks like Elijah Pennington coming out to help out here, as I believe that's Elijah in the red suit. Yeah, so Elijah Pennington, one of our Roadrunner drivers, coming out to help out. So that's awesome to see. Some drivers taking initiative here. But Idaho 200 last week, we were running, it's a 200 lap race. We had 26 cars like we talked about. Around lap 30 or so, the three fastest cars, the aforementioned Jeremy Dawson, Glenn Knutson were 1-2. The third amigo here was Hayden Plybon, who we saw here when Wenatchee finished second. Yeah, he qualified quick time out of the 43, and he was right there with Dawson Knutson coming through. Started 12th, was up in third. And he's passing a slower car that has some smoke coming out of it going into turn 1 around lap 30. And then all of a sudden you just hear boom. You look up and you see a huge puddle, and you see the 55 car going around. You just see smoke radiating out of it, and the car he was passing coming to a stop. He detonated his motor, and every single drop of oil that was in that car dumped out into turn number 1.
Oh, gosh.
At the exact same time, the car he was passing, it was Yakima's Jason Berg. He blew a power steering line, and all the power steering fluid fell right there at the exact same spot. We had I believe it was a 45-minute red flag doing, well, what you're seeing here on screen right now, sweeping up a mess up in turn number 1 at State Line Speedway. Turn number 1 in that race last week looked like a blizzard had hit that one particular track. I don't know if you've seen the movie Geostorm, the Liam Neeson movie, where the government can control the weather, and that one scene where it's in the desert, they just put the one snowstorm for like 1 square mile. It looked like that out there.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, we are in a delay right now, and you know, we had the Roadrunners out there for qualifying before we got to the super late models, or the pro late models, I should say. Was Elijah Pennington's vehicle having a hard time?
No, Elijah's was good. Elijah was in the blue number 20. He's actually in a different car than when he runs on the Wednesday night program at State Line Speedway. But it was not him. I believe we had heavy smoke out of the 47. Plumb Perfect Roadrunner, who's from Arlington, Washington. Got to go through my roster and get the correct name on that one. That was the
Nathan Yonker.
Yes, Nathan Yonker.
Actually, he's out of Yakima.
Oh, he's out of Yakima.
Yeah, sorry. Matt Lawson, 26, is out of Arlington.
That's the one out of Arlington.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we had those issues right as we were finishing up the qualifying runs for the Roadrunners here tonight, and yeah, well, that certainly caught us off guard a little bit, caught the track crew off guard a little bit, so they're trying to take care of that with some speedy dry right now here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. So that's why we have the delay, and it'll be interesting to see. Like you said, we had one car that came out to try to qualify, Steve Blankenship, who got loose coming out of turn 2, and I have to assume that some of the fluids that's on the track caused him to have those issues if they're going to give him a chance to rerun here.
It would have to be an assumption there, Eric, because we've seen this happen before where there was some oil on the track and they wound up having to do a cleanup and the car gets another shot. But we mentioned Yakima, and I did want to talk about something before we got too far into the broadcast here. A lot of drivers down there racing with a heavy heart tonight because the Northwest racing community lost a very big member this past week. J.C. Wofford, a Yakima Speedway legend, winner at the Idaho 200, the Hermiston Oregon 200. Just all around great guy. passed away this past Wednesday, and we haven't figured out what happened yet, but a lot of drivers down there racing with a heavy heart tonight, so we want to definitely use tonight to race in memory of J.C. Wofford, who we lost, unfortunately, earlier this week.
Well, speaking of Yakima, of course, the COVID issues have certainly caused lots of problems for folks in Yakima County. They've had, I think, just one race so far at Yakima Speedway this season. I know that Jake Woods was down there and actually won that race that happened back on July 11th, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to talk to Jake as we'll take a quick commercial break and come back, and hopefully we get the track in better shape and get more qualifying here for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models here on Les Schwab night at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, along with Greg Rentz. I'm Eric Granstrom. We'll take a break, come back, and on the reverse side of it, we'll talk with the 22-year-old who's from Yakima, who comes in this weekend, Jake Woods, looking for some good things here at WVSO. We'll have that right after this.
At Town Toyota, we believe in our community, and we're proud to support this broadcast of local sports. Town Toyota defines reliability and value in both its products and in the dealership itself. We are home to legendary products like the RAV4, Highlander, and Camry, not to mention Tundras and Tacoma trucks. Of course, we offer service for everything we sell, and a great selection of pre-owned and certified vehicles as well. So enjoy the game and visit Town Toyota for all your automotive needs.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning has been proudly serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 35 years. And just as Dick's has been there for you, they have also been an essential part of our community, supporting local youth sports all year long and your Wenatchee Wild.
Thanks for your support.
Thanks, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, for all your support. Thank you.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, your local, independent, trained comfort specialist. Call 884-6444 today.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Well, a break in the action, a chance to catch up with some of our drivers here this weekend for the second time here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval in 2020 is Jake Woods. Jake, you had some success down in Yakima. Tell us about that race for you.
We actually had a lot of fun in Yakima. It was a bit of a smaller race. We only had, I think, 10 or so cars, and it was just a 50-lap main event, but we had a lot of fun. We've raced at Yakima. I'm actually from Yakima, and we were able to go out, start near the front, get in the front right away, and lead the whole thing, and actually do really well. It was a lot of fun, and didn't get to have fans, but we got a win for this season and hoping to build on it more.
What's the biggest change when you step up to the Pro Late models and race these cars?
The biggest change, other than the size, is the motor power. I used to race Legends, and we had a 1250 motorcycle motor, Yamaha, so it didn't really pull down the straightaway like this one does. So I had to really learn about car control and knowing where I'm at on the track. And now in my 3rd year in this car, I've got a little bit better handle on that, and I think I'm starting to do better with it. But initially it was kind of a shock at how much power I had and how big the car was on tracks, especially tracks as small as Wenatchee here, to see where I'm at.
It's not too often that you get a winery involved as your sponsor. Tell me more about that.
Balikoff Estates Wines has been a good sponsor of ours for a couple years now. He's from the East Valley area in Yakima, which is where I'm from. He's also a part of Balikoff Fruit. He does a lot for the community, does a lot for from people that we know and been a good friend of mine for a while now. And he came aboard last year and has been helping us out. And he really enjoys the racing. We really enjoy having him, and it's a lot of fun. He loves it.
So let's see, after Indy 500, the tradition is to drink some milk. Do you guys pop a bottle of wine when you win, or?
If we do well, yeah, I've got a couple at home, and I make sure I keep them handy.
Well, thanks for taking the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Nick Woods joining us here in Pit Road on the NCW Life channel.
Well, we now know exactly what happened. Well, we don't know exactly what happened to the car, but we know the culprit as far as fluid on the track. Greg was able to go next door to the scorers tower here and talk to the folks there inside about why we have the delay here as far as oil or something on the track. Greg, what happened?
It was from that number 47, the first car to come out. Steve Blankenship was leaking fluids. Not sure what exactly the fluid was, assuming it's oil, because that's a long streak there. As you see our general manager, Jeremy Anders, riding the ATV with the, I won't say the jet dryer, but the little leaf blower there, blowing all the excess off. So that's from the 47. So he's not going to be able to go out and requalify because they're more focused right now on trying to figure out what it was that was causing the big leak there. So his lap is going to be the 15.676. Steve Floyd, however, will most likely get a...
You're doing air quotes around that, Greg.
Yeah, they haven't, the official word hasn't come in yet on whether or not he's going to, but everyone in the scorers tower was assuming that that was going to be the case, but it's not those in the scorers tower's call. It's the race director, John Ball, who's currently helping clean the mess up. That's him in the silver pickup truck stopped there right in front of the Smitty's Pancakes and the Dixonian Air Conditioning sign. It's his call, and he's a little preoccupied helping clean the mess, so we're going to assume that Floyd is going to get another shot at it, but not official just yet.
Okay.
It's his call in the pickup truck.
All right, we'll see what they decide to do here, and that won't necessarily be, if they do give him a rerun, would he come out first here? Or
he would be the last car
the last. Okay. All right. So he'd have to wait for everybody else in our 12-car field here for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models.
And that actually may work to his advantage. We saw that happen at State Line back on Father's Day weekend at their opener with the Wenatchee boy, Dale Winterberg. He had something happen on his lap. He didn't get a first lap. He had to go to the tail end and try it again, and he wound up getting the pole on that second attempt. So who knows? Maybe it works out.
Well, taking a look at the field of the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, we've got Andy Beeman, who is out of Sela. He's got the number 3 car. Brad Morrison is in number 4. He's from Moses Lake. East Wenatchee's Gary Homad here again tonight. In the 6 car, Glenn Knudsen, who has just dominated the field here at WVSO and around the Northwest in a lot of cases, has the 16 car out of Quincy. Can't miss him. Jake Woods, whom we just interviewed, and thanks for Jake for taking the time out of Yakima. He's got the 22. Chad Holiday in the 31 here tonight out of Wenatchee. Chad, really nice moment here, the last race that we covered at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Unfortunately, after the death of the Mackin and mother in the Mackin family, and Chad Holiday was racing in a B-Mod that night and came up and said, hey, I'm donating my wins to the family. We had a bunch of other drivers that also jumped on board on doing that to help with the Mackin family for their funeral expenses and things like that. So a neat moment, and yeah, we talk about 50 years of racing here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Doesn't happen without families like the Holidays and the Evans and people like that.
Exactly, and it's the racing families from the Evans and the Holidays to the Super Late Models all the way down to the Mackins and the Roadrunners. It's those families that are the backbone of this sport, and this is what makes local racing the best sport in the world, is the amount of support. We talk about it, we've talked about it here on NCW Life a couple of times. It's one giant, very dysfunctional family here at the, not just the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, but short track racing in general, not even just in the Northwest. You got your California guys, you got your Southwest Arizona, Nevada, even all the way back in the heart of race country, back into North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, down into Florida, all one big extended and fights a lot family. But hey, it's at the end of the day, it's what it's all about here. They're still finding some fluid down there, so still quite a bit of mess to clean up. So I'm not sure what the exactly happened with the 47, but whatever it was big.
So the rest of the field here for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models after Chad Holiday 40, whom we saw try to qualify. Steve Floyd might get another chance at qualifying. The 47, Steve Blankenship out of Tacoma. Michael Knutson, brother of Glenn, older brother of Glenn, drives the 51 car. He's out of Quincy. Gary Shales is in the 63. He's from Wenatchee. Also from Wenatchee, we've got Cameron Brugman, who's in the 97 car, and a late entry. You can tell us more about that in the 68 car tonight from Ephrata, Bart Hector.
Not the first time Bart Hector Sr. has done this. This is Sr. driving the number 68 car tonight. And what happened was he was up at the race shop. He had an entirely separate race car in the trailer, just hanging out in the trailer, just waiting. He was up at the shop doing something, and he looked at the late model, turned away, looked again, and said, let's do it. So at 11 a.m., called his wife Lisa, said, hey, we're going racing. Came home, got the trailer, unloaded that car, went up, got the other late model in, came straight to the track, and made it out just in time for first practice. Not the first time he's done that. Me and Bart Jr. one time, we were going to go to Yakima to watch a late model race there, and we got a text right around the same time, about 11 a.m., that there was only 10 cars there. We're like, oh man, all right. So no real urgency to get there, where you can kind of leave around 2 or 3 or so to get there right before qualifying. Well, Senior happened to overhear us talking about that, and he's like, really, there's only 10 cars, huh? About half an hour later, he goes, hey, let's go change the gears out and let's go racing. So suddenly it went from us watching to us going down to help with Senior race that race, and we got there just before qualifying and wound up finishing well inside the top 10 in that race. Finished 6th.
Incredible. Well, happy to have Mr. Hector here tonight for racing at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. We're going to take another commercial break and see if we can get the track ready to go and get qualifying underway here for the Pro Late Models, and we'll do that as we continue here on Les Schwab Night at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. More from the Oval up here on Fancher Heights right after this.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
From the ocean to the mountains to the forest in between, vacation time can be a fun time. But not if your car breaks down. Call Global Car Care today. Have a service approved over $150 on your vehicle, and Global Car Care will donate an oil change service to one of our local heroes at Confluence Health. Look for more incentives online. Global Car Care cares about their community.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back once again to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, along with Greg Rentz, Eric Granstrom, as they try to mop up some fluid leaked here in our qualifying of the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models. It was actually our first vehicle on the track tonight. Steve Blankenship in trying to qualify the 47 car out of Tacoma that had something break on that car and drop some fluid on the track. So that's what we've been trying to take care of. Also, Steve Floyd came out to try to qualify afterwards, and we saw him get plenty loose, and he stopped over on the far side of the track, talked to the race officials, and said, hey, I can't do this because we got something on the track here. So they may give him another shot after the rest of the field qualifies. While we wait for them to come out and get racing going here with the qualifying for the Pro Late Models, had a chance yesterday to get down to the pit area during practice here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, and I sauntered down to the Bandalero side, which is the kids that are 8 to 14 years of age, and visited with a youngster who's made a long trek to come here to race this weekend.
Little break in the action here in the Bandoleros, and back again from Charlotte, Montana. I got that right?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure and get the name right. Kelby Dumont, who is 12 years a veteran, right?
Sure.
Tell me about, this is your second trip back to WVSO, right?
Yes.
So tell me about that first trip for you. What was that like?
I was nervous.
Yeah?
It was my first race ever, so didn't know what to expect.
So you had a chance to get your feet wet a little bit. So what did you learn that first race?
How to handle a car, that stuff. I don't know.
So 12 years old, have you been racing before you got to the Bandoleros?
No.
So what got you into it?
My dad and grandpa and great grandpa all raced.
So is this something that you went to them and said, hey, I kind of want to do this, or did they kind of say, you're going to race?
I got the car for my birthday, so.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. When was your birthday?
June 2nd.
Okay. Well, happy birthday. That's quite a present.
Thanks.
So what do you hope to accomplish here? Now, is this your second race, or I know it's your second race at WVSO, but have you been able to race other places?
I went to State Line a couple weekends ago.
Okay. So that's a whole new experience as well. How was that for you?
Good. I took third.
Awesome. Awesome. So now that you got two big races under your belt and you come back to WVSO, a track now that you're familiar with, what do you hope to accomplish this weekend?
At least get second. Okay. Hopefully get first.
So who do you think is the racer to beat in the Bandoleros?
Probably the 45 or 07.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck this weekend. So who might be watching us back at Charlotte, Montana that you want to say hi to?
Mom, dad, sisters, grandparents, uncles, cousins, pretty much all my family.
Awesome. Well, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
You bet. There you go. He is from Charlotte, Montana, representing Kelby Dumont here this weekend at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. All right, here we go. Back to Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models. Greg, we got a car on the track ready to take the green flag.
This is Brad Morrison in the number 4. He went out, did a few safety laps right before this started to make sure that the track was in good condition. He gave the officials a thumbs up, so he got the 1 to green, and here we go. Back underway with qualifying. Brad Morrison, the Moses Lake driver, many times street stock champion throughout the Northwest, Ephrata, all those places, and he, I believe, just took the white flag at a 14.300, so he's going to be quick time right now. Checker flag from Jason Wilson up on the stand. He is going to go quicker, a 14.267. Next to take time, it's a familiar car, it's a familiar name, but the driver and car combination is brand new. This is Cameron Brugman driving the Josh Ingram car. Brugman has been a teammate to Josh Ingram a couple years over the years in this series. Driving Ingram's car tonight, not sure what the reasoning is there, but Cameron Brugman, first start of the year, driving the car that was his teammate last year. White flag first lap for Cameron Brugman in the 97. Second, a 14.444, so a lot of 4s here for the 97 of Cameron Brugman. Josh Ingram, of course, won the championship in 2018 in this car. Checker flag, second lap for Brugman. Quicker, but still second, 14.365. We move over to a driver who made his return earlier this season to the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. This is Gary Homad in the number 6.
Gary on a right here in East Wenatchee. the 94 Raceway Sportsman of the Year. Longtime racer here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Took quite a bit of time away.
White flag first lap for him. He will go top of the board. Quick time 14:103 for Gary Holmad. He is quick time right now, sitting P1. Looking for more here in lap number 2. So far, all 4 drivers have been faster on lap 2. Trent stops there, 14:124. The 103, the time to beat right now for Gary Holmad as we move over to Selah, Washington's Andy Beeman, a former B-Main winner here at this track a few years ago. Back in 2018, Josh Ingram's championship year. The Selah driver who calls Yakima Speedway his home track, many main event wins at that track. Has a few to his credit. Still looking for that elusive A-Main victory here at Wenatchee. Could it come tonight?
Raced in Hermiston here a few weeks ago.
He did.
Took 11th in their main event.
White flag first lap. Andy Beeman, he is... Took a little bit to register there. 4th, 14:403. Took our lifetime scoring a couple of seconds to update there, crossing the checker flag. Second lap for Beeman, looking for more, and does not get it. 14:403 will be the time that counts. We've spoke to this young man. One win this season. It came at Yakima Speedway in their only pro late model race this season. This is Jake Woods.
Of course, we talked to Jake just a little bit ago. Had some success down in Yakima. The only race they were able to run down in Yakima, taking the checkered flag in a pretty good field that was in Yakima back on July 11th.
It was a very good field. I was actually watching it in the tower before we went on the air that night because we had a race here. Watched that race live on Facebook in the tower before the race. Woods goes second in the 14:124. He's just 2 100ths off Gary Holmad's quick time. So Woods, the 2-time winner at Yakima Speedway, once this year, once last year, knocking on the door. Checkered flag, second lap. And he goes to the top of 13:970. Jake Woods, quick time, first into the 13s.
Next up on the track will be out of Wenatchee. You're driving the number 63. It's Gary Shales here to qualify in the Jerry's Auto Supplies Pro Late Models.
I believe Gary was here for the opener back on June 27th. Missed it on July 11th. Back here tonight in car number 63 will be the 7th official qualifier to take time, as Steve Floyd's first lap was a wash, so still waiting on official word on that. I do see Floyd lined up back there, so looks like he will get another attempt at it as Shales goes third at a 14:145. He's knocking on the door here, competing up there with Woods and Homad. 4 100ths off of Homad. Checker flag, second lap. And he goes to the top of the 13:881. Gary Shales quick time as we move over. This is the guy I told you about. This is Chad Holliday driving the number 33. He's number 31 on our paper, but number 33 on the car. This is the car that Rocky Crocker drove in the first 2 races, and it's a very, very fast car. Comes from the East Coast. Preston Peltier drove this in the car store. Chad Holliday got his hands on it. He gets to play with his new car tonight. Trying to track down Gary Shales, 13:881. Holliday was quickest in practice. He goes to the top of the 13:6762, 2/10 of a second over Gary Shales. Chad Holliday, top of the board right now. Looking to be quicker here on lap number 2. No, 13:680. The 6.76 is a lap that counts for the 2016 track champion. We move over now to the 2017 track champion. This is Mike Knutson in the number 51 out of Quincy.
Michael's probably getting a little tired of staring at the bumper of his younger brother, I imagine.
He actually, remember, put a bounty on Glenn.
That's right.
A couple weeks ago, and Glenn still cashed in on the win. I'm not sure if that carried over to the Idaho 200 when Jeremy Doss got the win, so not sure if that happened. Mike Knutson coming out for qualifying. He settles in 5th on the first lap at a 14:231 for Michael Knutson. 2:31 in the 14-second bracket. Off of turn number 4, second lap. Checker flag for Knutson, and second lap did not register, so it's a 2:31. Either that or he went the exact same lap both times. but I'm only seeing 1 lap register, so not sure what happened with his lap. But from that, we move to his younger brother, who we just talked about, had his streak snapped. It was 6 straight wins before a second at State Line Speedway last week. This is Glenn Knutson, the 16.
Well, he certainly knows his way around this quarter-mile asphalt track here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. It will be interesting to see his time in his first lap of qualifying.
Remember, he has not exactly qualified very well. Third quick right now, 13.946. Hasn't been a strong qualifier this year, but gets it done in the race. 75 laps of distance tonight. Long race here tonight. Plenty of time for Glenn to make his way through the field. If he doesn't get quick time, which he doesn't, he goes second, 13.854. And to answer the question, yes, here he is, Steve Floyd, back on the track for another attempt after having his first one washed away. There he is in the number 40, streaking by on your screen. Steve Floyd with the green flag here. Brent Harris drove that car to a victory in Hermiston a couple of weeks ago. In that race we were talking about Woods and Beeman being up there. As Floyd goes second, 13.808. Remember, I talked about it being out there might give you a little bit of advantage, a little extra heat in the tires. 13.808, that's the fastest first lap. See what he's got on lap number 2. Still second quicker, but a 13.716. Believe we are moving now into our final car to qualify, and it's the man who came out at 11 a.m. deciding the race. This is Bart Hector Sr. driving the number 68.
Happy to have him here out of Ephrata.
And Senior has won a main event pop quiz. He has won a main event at every track in the Northwest with the exception of one. What is that track he has not won at?
Here.
Right here, Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Bart Hector Sr. does not have a main event victory at this track. Plenty of trophy dashes, plenty of heat races, never won a main event here. Looking to change it tonight. He goes 7th on the first lap, 14.010. Checker flag, second lap for Hector Sr. Jumps into the top 5 at the 13.907. Senior, top 5, 13.907. Wrapping it up for Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Model qualifying. Quick time going to the 2016 champion, Chad Holliday.
Well, the next up on the schedule will be some of our heat races here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. So while we wait for the first heat race to start, which should be our Bandoleros, we'll take a break and come back. Thanks for watching tonight. It's Les Schwab night at WVSO. Back with more right after this. Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition.
Welcome back once again to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Our first heat race of the night will be in the Bandoleros. And let's set up the field for you out there in front in the 91 car. That is Dakota Ballard out of Yakima, Following Dakota in the 28 from Waterville, it's Brooke Brooks. The 24 car is Cole Dazenbrock from Deer Park, Washington. And then the 22 car is that of Emerson Getz out of Okanagan. And at the back of the pack right now is a lady that's in a brand new car to her. In the 07, it's McKenna Lutz, who had kind of a nasty crash here. We'll talk to McKenna as the night continues here. But the Bandaleros' first heat race of the night, they are scheduled for 8 laps here in the heat race.
8 laps of distance here. This again the future of racing here in the Northwest, and we have a strong field of these cars here tonight. Here, Eric, 11 of them signed in tonight, and it's going to be fun to watch these youngsters go for. You see Dakota Ballard is there. You've got Brooke Brooks in the number 28. That's going to be a handful to say throughout the course of the night. Brooke Brooks. The 22 is Emerson Getz, the younger sister of Evan Getz, who's racing in the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. Drove that car to several main event wins here over the years. Emerson driving that car tonight. The 24 is Cole Dazenbrock out of Deer Park, Washington, north of Spokane. And the 07, of course, we talked about her. McKenna Lutz had the big wreck in her car last time out, got the new car, and she is medically cleared to go. We were wondering if she was going to be able to go, but the knee healed a lot quicker than we thought it was going to. So here we go. Dakota Ballard going to bring him to green. He's got.
Oops, we got McKenna passing on the start here, but they're going to get her all the way to the front on the green flag.
And I'm willing to bet that that call is going to be rescinded, and we're going to go back yellow here as Jason Wilson has the yellow flag in hand.
Yeah, that was
no, looks like he's going to stay green. So, all right, McKenna Lutz leading the way here. Slide and back. Look out, contact. And the 22 going up. Whoa! And they
look out, Brooke
the entire
Brooks.
field except for McKenna Lutz is in that one. Brooke Brooks is around in the 22.
Emerson Getz is the one who spun around.
Emerson Getz in the 22.
Yep. And then
Brooks
Cole Dazenbrock in the 24. They came together. Brooks clipped the end of a car. Looks like Brooke is going to stay out there.
I believe Brooks caught the back of the 24 car.
Okay.
I believe. And it was kind of confusing because you've got the 28 and the 22. If you notice, they have the exact same paint scheme. The only difference is the number, which is colored differently. Those are both Getz cars, I believe. Brian Getz, the father, of course, of both Emerson and Evan, believe he sold the 28 to Ben Reed, but kept the 22, but they just haven't repainted the 28 car yet, as there is quite a bit of damage.
The bumper is underneath and dragging on the front of Brooks' car, so it looks like they might have to have her exit. Meanwhile, they took the front hood, and that was split in half by Emerson Getz. And they tried to get it in a position where he could at least drive the car. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay on the track, however. He will, and it will be Brooke that will have to head towards the pit area because the front right part of her bumper, that Nerf bar that's out front of these Bandoleros, broke. Looks like the framework that goes out to that little Nerf bar broke, and now it's trailing underneath the car, so not a safe place for her to be, so they'll check her in the pit area.
Emerson Getz getting the black flag, so not the way the younger sister of Evan wanted her debut to go, as she's going to go to the pits as well. So we're down to 3 already here in this B heat. McKenna Lutz leading the way. 1 career main event win for her that came here in 2018. And then you got Dakota Ballard in the 91, and then, of course, Dazenbrock out of Deer Park, Washington. That's a long tow. That's north of Spokane. That's north of where I'm from. So that's quite the haul here to the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
Got a chance to talk to his family yesterday, and got a chance to talk to the youngster Dazenbrock, and asked him about if he anything else besides racing. He says, oh yeah, I'm all into all kinds of sports. I said, well, what? He says, wrestling. I said, well, hey, Deer Park, they're known for wrestling.
They are, and trust me, no one knows that better than us at Lakeside High School in 9 Mile Falls. The next town over, Deer Park and Lakeside, always have been mad at each other's throats, and wrestling was always one of the main sports that they were at it. So it was definitely something that we know to see, or known to see over the years, was the Deer Park Lakeside rivalry in all sports, but especially wrestling there. And so yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about there on that one.
So I don't see any numbers on the scoreboard here as far as number of laps. So we'll have to check this to see if we're going to
complete restart. I've got them right here on Race Monitor. You can follow along with the action on Race Monitor. And complete restart did not complete a lap. Hey, Emerson gets made it back out in the number 22. Younger sister of Evan. Evan, of course, racing in the Mountain Dew Junior late models. So it is a complete restart, so McKenna Lutz is going to fall to the back. Dakota Ballard going to be leading the way. Cole Dasenbrock in the number 24 should be outside, I believe. Boy, it has been quite the interesting start to this one here, Eric. We had our first car of the day here on NCWLIFE leak about 3 laps worth of oil out on the track, and then we finally get some racing. We make it a whole 3/4 of a lap before we got issues.
Yeah, so they're lining up on the backstretch right now. It's down to a 4-car field here in this first heat race for the Bandaleros. Of course, this is the entry classification with drivers that are between the ages of 8 and 14, and that's what you have out there right now with Dakota Ballard, 10 years of age, in the 91 car in the pole position right now. In our flagger, Jason Wilson's going to have them go one more time around. Outside of Dakota is Cole Dasenbrock. He's just 9 years of age. So that tells you about the age group we have right now. So you can imagine how big the eyes get in those youngsters as they get a little squirrely on this quarter-mile asphalt.
I believe the age gap we've got here, looking at the notes, I believe the age gap of these drivers on track right now is 9 to 13 because Brooke Brooks was in this race. She was the oldest driver in that race, but she's behind the wall. Oldest driver on track right now is the number 07 of McKenna Lutz, who is 12. Green flag is out, and McKenna Lutz once again
will dip low and take the lead right at the checker, or at the green flag at the start.
That's a product of McKenna just saying, you know what, hey, I'm just going to catch you sleeping here, Dakota. Jumping out to the early lead here.
Well, the big question for McKenna was getting comfortable in this different car after she wrecked here a few weeks ago. Looks pretty comfortable out there right now, leading after 1 lap.
And McKenna, her last name is Lutz, but she comes from 2 of the most successful racing families. We talked about that earlier. We talked about families. McKenna Lutz is half Wennerberg, half Hector.
An all racer.
Absolutely. Second place in her main event at State Line a couple weeks ago before having the unfortunate incident up here at Wenatchee back in July. 1 career main event victory for McKenna that came here in 2018. And how about the second place car here, Cole Dasenbrock, Deer Park, Washington native, just 9 years old, hanging tough in there with McKenna right now. Very impressive here so far for the Deer Park driver, and actually looks like he's able to close in a little bit here on McKenna.
Yeah, this could be good here. A lot of laps to go. We're lap number 2, led by McKenna Lutz, but Dasenbrock right behind. He said that he ran a couple of years in the go-karts and got his feet wet doing that.
Fastest car on the track right now is that number 24 of Dasenbrock. 4 to go here, halfway through this heat race. Dasenbrock putting pressure on, peeking outside of McKenna here. Still the fastest car on track is the 24. 3 laps in a row, Eric. That number 24 has gone the fastest lap of the race here. Here he is making the move on the outside of McKenna.
Does he have the speed to be able to hold that line out there?
Problem with this is if you have to check up in these cars, we saw it right there with Dasenbrock, you have to check up. It takes you about an entire lap to get the momentum built back up as Lutz trying to hold on. Just 2 laps to go. White flag next time by, but Dasenbrock has that momentum built back up. We'll see what he's got here as he takes a peek on the outside, looking to dive a little bit low. White flag for McKenna Lutz, but she's got a very hungry 9-year-old right behind her in Cole Dasenbrock.
Powered mostly by Briggs & Stratton. There's no gearing. It's just mash the accelerator and you got to brake, and that's about it. And now trying to mash the accelerator right now. Dasenbrock on the outside.
Not going to happen. McKenna Lutz gets the win here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval for the B heat. Dasenbrock, great effort though for second place for the Deer Park driver, and Emerson Getz with the damage on the 22, able to fight back for third with Dakota Ballard rounding out the 4 that finish. Of course, Brooke Brooks had to go behind the wall after the incident on lap number 1, so 1 in the books here, and it's McKenna Lutz holding off a hard-charging Cole Dasenbrock for the first win of the night.
Now, while we wait for the next Bandoleros to come out, back in the studio, Uriah Darby has our interview we were able to get with McKenna Lutz talking about that wreck that happened a few weeks ago here at WVSO.
A little break in the action down here in the pit area of the Bandaleros, and now talking with McKenna Lutz. McKenna had, well, I don't know if it was scary for you. It was scary for me watching it here a few weeks ago. Big wreck. You hit the wall right on the home stretch there. Are you okay, first of all?
Yes, I am.
Was that a little scary for you?
Yeah, a little bit.
So tell us what happened. Did you just get a little squirrely coming out of 4?
Yeah, just with the new tires, they're a little slick, and I just needed to warm them up a little bit more than what I did.
So we see you back here with a car that's got your number, but it doesn't look like your car.
No, I actually got a new car because the other one needs a new frame, and so
That's how hard you hit. You needed a new frame.
Yeah.
So I know they took you to the hospital, but everything checked out. You're fine.
Yes. Now I was on crutches and I had a knee brace, but then I slowly worked on, and now I'm good.
Now we didn't get a chance to get it on video, but McKenna hit front first, right into the wall at the home stretch there. So did you bang your knee on something inside the car?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Do you remember the whole thing, or did you kind of maybe get a little groggy?
It happened so fast, so I'm not 100% sure. I know I got loose coming out of 4, but that's about it.
So tell me about adjusting to a new car.
We basically took a bunch of my numbers from my springs, my sprockets, and my gearing, and we put it in this car, and then we just took me out, and now it's just a confidence thing. I need to get my confidence up and not be as timid.
That's got to be kind of a hard thing mentally, isn't it, more than physically?
Yeah, it's all in my head, but I'll get there.
So adjusting to a new car, that's also kind of something that you have to get a mindset to, right?
Yeah.
So McKenna Lutz is here this weekend, and I know there's going to be a lot of folks that are cheering her on, coming from, 3 different race families, that's for sure. McKenna joining us here in the pit area. Car looks a little different, but you recognize that color on the 7. There you go. It's McKenna Lutz who is driving with the 07 car here this weekend at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval in the Bandaleros. And we're back racing here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval in the Bandaleros, taking the lead. Jordan Mullins in the 11X car. Second place will be Allie Mae Jones, who has won on this track. And outside of her, to her door frame, is Kelby Dumont out of Charlotte, Montana. Meanwhile, in 4th place right now is the 45 car of the 9-year-old out of Ephrata, Cannon DeLong. Long out. DeLong got into Ellie Mae, and Ellie Mae backs into the wall here on the straightaway, and we got a yellow flag.
Riker Oler going off-roading here. Dumont went around in the 03. We saw that in qualifying as well. And Allie Mae backed it into the wall off of turn number 4. And that's just showing how small these cars are, Eric. We cannot even see Allie Mae over there as our safety crew running over the check on her. You can barely see her there in the corner of your screen. Safety crew up there checking on Allie Mae, winner back here on June 27th.
That camera view you're looking at right now is a static camera. That's an unmanned camera. If you're wondering how come they're not showing exactly what's going on there, we hope Allie Mae Jones is okay inside the vehicle that took a hard back end into the straightaway here just off of turn 4. So again, stoppage here in the Bandaleros here on Wenatchee Valley Super Oval race night with Les Schwab here at the Oval this evening.
It always makes your heart skip a beat when one of these Bandaleros, one of these young kids, hit the wall like that, because
well, that's the exact same spot where McKenna Lutz
had her
into the wall.
And she went head on that one. I saw the pictures of it because I was in Hermiston and I saw the pictures. I was like, oh. But Allie Mae backing into the wall here tonight. Of course, we talked about it. She was your winner back here in June. Backing into the wall. They got the, I guess you could call it the deck lid of her car already loaded up there in the truck. not seeing a whole lot of sense of urgency out of them. So probably just making sure they can get the 16 car rolling.
Now, just fiberglass exterior on these vehicles, and they took the rear tail fin off, as if you will, the whole back end of the car off as well, as that was the first part that struck the wall here on the straightaway at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. So, yeah, like you say, we're not seeing any extraction of Ellie Mae Jones there. And we don't see any ambulance crews coming out.
Giving her a push. They're giving her a push now. So
that's a good sign.
What they might have been doing was just trying to make sure they could get the car moving, but it may have been stuck against the wall or something was going on. Not sure what it was there. They got her pushed away. Now the rest of the field's going to go by. They're going to get her turned around.
Ellie Mae Jones out of Puyallup.
All right, here we go. There we see the 16. So
and she's going to drive it off the track herself. So how about that? A round of applause for Ellie Mae Jones. Scary moment here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Now, can she race like that if it continues to run?
Physically, yes. Legally, no. You're going to want to get the back deck lid on. I mean, she's got the new air conditioning unit there, but you don't want to race it like that.
No, definitely not. So she will head towards the pit area, and we hope the 13-year-old from Puyallup is all right. She's able to drive the car, so that's a good sign.
Tie for the oldest driver in the field year-wise between her and Brooks, and yeah, I'm still trying to get used to saying Brooke twice there, but tie for the oldest driver year-wise. Going to have to figure out who is older month and day-wise for the oldest driver in the field. And how unique is that, Eric? Oldest driver in the field, 13 years old.
Yeah, yeah. And I love the fact that we've got a bunch of ladies out here driving as well.
We had
it's good to see.
2 or 3 in the last one, and then another 2 in this one, I think. So the 11 of J.J. Mullins, that kid is another one of those kids who you have to keep an eye on in the coming years. The Mullins family, another one of those racing families. J.J. Mullins, winner at State Line a while ago, has been so strong at Wenatchee. He's got Cannon DeLong to his outside, who had a very strong run going at State Line as well, got caught up in an incident. Then you find the 5J of James Hamlin, 9 years old, Oregon City, Oregon. Is the hometown on that.
Talk about coming a ways to do some racing.
Where exactly is Oregon City?
It's out on the coast, down south. I want to say that's kind of Lincoln area.
So long.
That's a long trip. Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, Riker Roller, Prosser, Washington. We call him the Iceman in the Northwest, that 13 car. And I'll explain why. And I talked to you a little bit about it while we were watching qualifying for them. If you want to talk about a kid with confidence, it's that number 13 car. Just watch him wheel this Bandalero, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The 03 of Kelly Dumont making it back out there. But up front, J.J. Mullins trying to fend off the pressure from James Hamlin. We got Hamlin trying to track down the 11 car. If you're following NASCAR, you know that number 11 for many, many years now has been Denny Hamlin. So you think number 11, if you're a NASCAR fan, your mind automatically goes Denny Hamlin. You hear Hamlin chasing the 11. That just sounds kind of odd to say.
But it is the Natchees, Jordan Mullins in the lead right now.
Oh, Kelly Dumont off in the infield in the 03. Didn't see what happened there. Just happened to glance up and saw her in the infield down there. But meanwhile, pulling away is J.J. Mullins now. He's opened up a pretty big lead over Hamlin and Cannon DeLong, who's coming up and putting pressure on.
Yeah, that battle is now for second place, really.
Mullins out by himself in the 11.
Fourth lap of our Schedule 8 here for this heat race for the Bandaleros, our second heat race of the night.
J.J. Mullins leading the way here in the 11.
Of course, coming up on some lap traffic here
in the form of Dumont. And talk about long haul.
Dumont reaching out the window and waving the cars past as Dumont will head towards the pit area now. And leaving the way wide open for Jordan Mullins.
Well, big slide out of the 5. Look out!
Came close to the wall.
I think he barely kept it off the wall. I don't think he touched it.
James Hamlin able to hang on to that second spot.
2 to go. White flag next time by.
Oh, get a little loose is our leader.
Don't want to do that. White flag, 1 lap to go. JJ Mullins has been racing these for quite a few years now. Knows how to get it done here. Finally in the typical Mullins paint scheme here with the blue and the pink numbers. Cannon DeLong, it's going to be a race for second as DeLong tried to take a stab in turn number 3. A heat win to the 11 of Mullins as Hamlin slides up again but keeps it off the wall. Mullins gets the win in the A heat. Just like that, first class heat race in the books. Next time you'll see the Bandaleros, there will be hopefully 11 of them. We did get quite a few cars with some damage. We'll see if they can get it fixed. We move right over to our other group of youngsters. This is our Mountain Dew Junior Late Models, led out by 2 of the female drivers in the field. 3 female drivers in the field. First up is Danica Dart. Got to talk with her father for a few minutes earlier today. Didn't get a chance to actually get back and catch up with Danica herself, but Danica, fierce competitor in quarter midgets, ran quarter midgets all throughout the Northwest. Picked up a big win in Las Vegas in quarter midgets back in 2015. She rolls off on the bolter outside your winner of here back in June, Haley Constance in the 78. Then you find Evan Getz, the 22, out of Okanagan, Washington, and Tri-Cities, Caden Moran, last year's Bandalero champion at Hermiston Raceway.
So 4 cars in the field for the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, a 4-car field, and amazingly, full-size cars, and these cars can fly, and the age range is, what, 11 to 15 years old in this class?
I believe it's 10 to 15, 11 to 15. It's one of those. We've got Caden Moran is 14, Danica Dart is 13, Evan Getz is 12, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Haley Constance just turned 15 not too long ago.
Wow. So they can't legally drive on the street, but they can come out here and jump in a big car.
I was telling
and race around the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
I was telling Grant when we were here back in July, I think when they go for the driver's test, I think they should bring this car out.
Yeah. Say, here, Mr. Driver's License guy, jump on in. Here's a helmet.
And seatbelt is right here. It's double strapped.
Yes.
5 point. Stacking them up 2 by 2 for Danica Dart.
Now, there were some issues in practice earlier. Caden Moran had a little bit of issues getting around from turn 1 to turn 2.
Had a couple spins in the 05, and we've talked about it. That's a product of these young kids learning what to do with a car full of horsepower like that. They're used to these little Bandaleros and these little quarter midgets in the case of Danica Dart and Haley Constance. Getz and Moran, both Bandalero products, and they're used to those cars which you just saw. You step into a full body stock car with a wide array of power, you're going to have some slipping and sliding for these youngsters trying to figure out what they can and can't do. That's what the series is. Green flag is out.
Jason Wilson goes green, and slipping out in front, it'll be Haley Constance.
Main event winner last time out here at Wenatchee. Danica Dart won the heat race, which was surprised a lot of people that Evan Getz was held off the scoreboard in that, because he has been the dominant driver in the series, and this is his home track.
Evan trying to make some moves there on second place. Danica Dart comes inside and will nose in front on her second lap and take over second place.
So Evan Getz leading the way. 3 wins and 4 starts for the series, including the doubleheader in Hermiston back on July 18th. He won both of them, taking the shot.
Side by side, door to door, little collision. Everybody's okay.
Evan Getz gets the lead in the 22, but a new tire mark on the right side door of the 22. Saw that move out of him coming to the checkered in the heat race back on July 11th. Didn't work out for him. This time it does, albeit still with some contact.
Halfway through our heat race here for the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models.
I can't wait to see these kids mixing up with the big boys and girls out there in the series. Ooh, big push out of Danica Dart there in the 11.
Battle right now is in the back of the pack for third place. Dipping down low inside, Caden Moran will slip into third place.
That's your Hermiston Bandalero champion last year, stepping up to the junior late models this season, kicking Tyler Brown out of that car. Tyler Brown won a championship at State Line Speedway in that very car back in 2018. But up front, it's all the 22 Evan Getz leading the way as you see Caden Moran in the 05 pulling away from Danica Darpo. White flag, 1 lap to go for Evan Getz in the 22.
All he's got to do is hang on for 3/4 of a lap, and he'll get the checkered flag for the heat race here tonight at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Les Schwab night. Congratulations to Okanagan's Evan Getz.
Getting the win and a little bit of redemption here at his home track. Eric, before that second place in both the heat race and the main event, Evan Getz had not lost a race on this racetrack. Trophy Dash, heat race, main event, Evan Getz had not lost one before that race, so definitely getting some redemption here tonight.
How about that? So congratulations to Evan Getz, winner here in the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. We will take a quick break, come back, get you ready for our next heat race. It's coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel right after this.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
We've missed short drives to see friends, long drives to see family. We've missed road trips, car camping, heck, we've even missed commuting. We're grateful to be getting back on the road. And like always, Les Schwab wants to help you drive safe. That's why our safety-related services, tires, brakes, and alignment are on sale. Save up to $210. Swing by, because we've missed you too. Or book online at leschwab.com. Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing matters.
Well, here we go with our first heat race tonight for the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. And out in front of the field will be the 55 car of Dennis Kennedy of East Wenatchee. He's followed by the 16-year-old Cameron Doyle in the 71 car, also from East Wenatchee. That sharp-looking 7X cars of Mike Sims out of East Wenatchee. The 46 car is Terry Osborne from East Wenatchee. And 14, Seth Frazier. How about this? We got a 5-car field all out of East Wenatchee.
And actually, Eric, that's 4 and a Yakima driver. That's our other 7 car. That's Garrett Huffines in the number 7 out of Sela, Washington. He's driving his brother Dylan's car. They're both pro late model drivers now, but they still hang on to that car. That's Garrett Huffines driving the Dylan Huffines car. So we have 2 7s here tonight. That it can get confusing up here in the tower when you got more than one. I got a horror story about that one with the number 77. That number's going to haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. Green flag in the air as we're underway here. Dennis Kennedy in the 55. We talked a little bit, me and you, that he had to black flag his daughter from racing for a little while there, Eric.
She got pregnant last year, and so he says, you're out of the seat, and I'll climb in.
No contact between him and Doyle. That's the oldest driver in the field and the youngest driver in the field right there, side by side.
How about that? And taking a peek from behind is Terry Osborne in that sharp-looking Camaro, the 46.
Big red Camaro, Terry Osborne, the 46 in third. Seth Frazier, winner of both races here at Wenatchee this season in this car. The funny story here, Eric, at the 14 car, he bought that car from the cousin of Garrett Huffines back there. Jason Huffines drove that car in Yakima last year to a few wins. Frazier bought the car. Now he gets to race against Garrett for the first time.
Dennis Kennedy dropping back to third here as Frazier will take over second. He's having some issues on the corners. Out in front is Cameron Doyle. The 16-year-old will lead us as we're through 4 laps.
Kennedy a little bit loose there in the corner. And this time he gets tight in turn number 1. So the 55 definitely ill handling right now as Frazier coming up to put pressure on Cameron Doyle. And Doyle was talking about it. They found something in that number 71 because they've been having some extra help from Evans Racing Enterprises over the last few weeks. A little bit of contact between Kennedy and Osborne back there for third, but Frazier putting pressure on Doyle. Frazier to the inside in the 14.
Cameron Doyle has Seth Frazier right on his bumper. Taking a look inside as they head up the backstretch. We'll see if he can make the move on turn 3.
He will inside, door to door, 1471. White flag, 1 lap to go. Frazier's got the nose in front. Doyle on the outside. Not going to happen there through turn 2. Frazier able to clear, and he's going to drive away through 3 and 4. Doyle tries to cross over, nothing to happen there. Seth Frazier wins the B heat. I guess we can call that the odd heat, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, because that's not really the B heat. That's more the odd heat. I believe that's how we separated it out this time around, is evens and odds, and Frazier was quick time, so that's probably the odd heat. So this will be our even heat for qualifying times coming up next for the Dixie and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. I believe we had 10 of them in the field.
So congratulations to Seth Frazier. Certainly not a stranger to the checkered flag here at WVSO.
Absolutely not.
So we bring our next group of vehicles out onto the track, and let me set it up for you. You've got the 33 car. That's Colby Holiday out of Wenatchee. The 25 is that of RT Greiner from East Wenatchee. The 12 is Luke Shaw from Wenatchee. And there's the other 7 car, Mike Sims from East Wenatchee. The 42 car is that of Neil Nelson from Quincy.
That's the 7.5 that we were talking about, the other 7 car. Going 0.5 this year for Mike Sims. There's Neil Nelson. He was showing some speed in practice earlier today, was that 42 car. So keep an eye on him throughout the course of the field. Of course, Colby Holiday, the son of Chad Holiday, who set quick time in the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models here tonight. He's out there in the 33. RT Greiner to his outside. Luke Shaw. Sims, and so pretty much all Wenatchee cars in the field with the exception of Huff Hines from Yakima. Won the green at the line.
I thought you said this car is the Mike Sims car.
Yeah, this is the Mike Sims
you
car.
said the Huff Hines.
Huff Hines was the only out-of-towner in the field here for this one.
Oh, for the entire field.
For the entire field, yes. This entire field, field right here is all Wenatchee cars.
Okay,
although Neil Nelson's out to be afraid of. But we're coming around to the green flag, and he's green contact right out of the gate between Holiday and Greiner. That's going to open the door for Luke Shaw. I said Nelson's out to be afraid of. He's actually out of Quincy. His home track that he ran at constantly was Ephrata before coming here after Ephrata closed down.
Wow. Look at the line up after 1 lap.
Just like the way they started, albeit a couple extra door marks on the 33 and the 25. Luke Shaw hanging back there. Mike Sims, the 7. Neil Nelson hanging out there as well. A lot of speed in that 42 car tonight. They found something on the 42. Speaking of drivers who found something, it's Holiday able to clear Greiner and bring Shaw with him on the inside. We're missing Carl Brandt tonight in the 84. That's who's missing tonight. Luke Shaw in the 12 trying to come up and put pressure on, making his first appearance of the season, as is Holiday in the 33. So your top 2 right now making their first starts of the year, and here they are 1-2 leading the way.
Shaw got a little loose coming out of turn 2 there, but it looked like he might have the car if he can get around Holiday in this heat race.
Could be the case here as Holiday continues to lead the way. Sims able to get around Greiner for 3rd. Of course, these cars and series sponsored by Dixie and Air Conditioning. You see him on the billboard back there. A partner of the track for 50 years. Since the start of the track, Mike Sims with a big slide. Nice save by the 7.5. Hangs on to it. Great job by Mike Sims to hold on to it there. But Dixie and Air Conditioning, sponsor of this track since the get-go. Still a proud sponsor of the Thunder Cars here tonight.
Quite the battle for 1st, quite the battle for 3rd here in this heat race for the Dixie Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars.
Colby Holiday still leading the way. Luke Shaw right there. White flag coming out this time for Jason Wilson in the flag stand. Holiday feeling the heat from Shaw now. White flag, 1 lap to go. Can Shaw get him? I don't know now because he lost quite a bit of ground to Holiday. I think that may be exactly what Colby Holiday needed.
Sims in 3rd, trying to close ground on 2nd place as they come around for their final time around here off of turn 3, turn 4.
Give it to Holiday. First time out, gets the win. Shaw 2nd. Ooh, some contact after the fact there. Greiner, Sims, and Shaw kind of have a meeting of the minds going into turn 1. Neil Nelson kind of saying, nah, I'm just going to let you guys sort that out. But Colby Holiday getting the win here in the heat race for the Dixie Air Conditioning Thundercars. That was the even heat race. We should move over now to our Plumb Perfect Roadrunners coming up here tonight.
Roadrunners should be lined up behind the wall, and while we're waiting for them to take the track for their first heat race of the night, a huge field on hand. We'll take a quick break. Thanks for joining us for Les Schwab night here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Back with another heat race for the Roadrunners right after this.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
It's the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners first heat race of the night, and going to take us to the green flag is number 52, Jamie Mackin. On the outside of her is Sean Ziske in the 9.
On their way 3 wide already for the race lead as Elijah Pennington makes the move into number 20, Siski on the outside. Mackin falling to the back. 3 wide there as we are trying to get things going here. Alberto Navarrete into number 4, making his way up in the second now as Ziske slides up the track. Caution is out. Jason Wilson did not like that start.
Okay, so we're going to restack it, reset it here. That'll give us a chance to get through the rest of the field. As I think will they have Mackin come back out front to reset this?
That should be what happens here.
Okay, all right.
Should be a complete restart. Want to hit on a little note here. Remember, we talked about the breakout rule last time the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners were here, the 16.750. Jared Ingram in the 32 did qualify underneath that, so not sure what the decision was made. I believe he has to start in the back, which is where he would have started for this heat race anyway.
Yep.
But he did break out in qualifying, did Jared Ingram in the number 32, making his first start of the season, driving the 32 that Jay Evans drove for many, many years. Of course, it's a new car this year, and Jay Evans was very close to breaking out in that car last time out. Did not quite do it, but Jared Ingram did get in under the 16.750, so punishment for breaking out starting in the back, although that didn't change anything for this heat race at least.
All right, so Jamie Mackin's in the 52. She will come back out to the front, and they'll get her in the front position here. Alberto Navarrete will drop back. I think he was in the second row.
I think he was in inside row 3.
Yeah.
I think he was inside row 3. Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Ziske in the 9 is going to be up there at the front. They're talking to Elijah Pennington right now in the 20 out of Moses Lake, Washington. The car is based out of Spokane. They're talking to him because they feel like he jumped the start. That's what the caution was for. He was starting in third, but he made it 3 wide for the lead before they even got to the line.
Gotcha. So here comes the 9 car, Sean Ziske out of Stanfield, Oregon. And he will get up outside of Jamie Mackin in the 9 car. And then the Elijah Pennington number 20 car will be in that second row. Alberto Navarrete is on the outside right now in the 4 car. That green number 4. 26 is Matt Lawson, who's the orange and black car on the inside of the 3rd row.
That's your Arlington driver.
There
we got our wires crossed.
James Norman from Yakima outside of him in the 24.
That thing is awesome. That's a straight up Jeff Gordon tribute right there.
And then, as you mentioned, Jared Ingram back of the pack in the 32. I think we're going to be ready to go here for a green flag restart.
Jamie Mackin, the 52, coming up. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. Much better start that time. But we're 3 wide again. And this time it's Norman getting the best of it in the 24 as Pennington now gets it going. Under pressure from Lawson, though. Battle brewing for fourth in the early stages. A little bit of contact there between the 20 and the 26. Up front, it's Ziske leading the way here early.
Remember, Alberto Navarrete, his first race ever here was the last time he was here on this track back in June, and he takes over first place.
Gets the lead. That's an Ingram Racing car, teammate to the 32 of Jared Ingram, as he brings James Norman with him, the Yakima driver, getting around Ziske, who's called Hermiston Raceway his home track. Here they come to the inside, battle for the lead between Navarrete and Norman.
Quite the battle behind them for third place right now. You got 3 cars that are battling for third right now, held down by Ziske in the 9 car.
Here comes Ingram inside.
3 wide. Oh my.
Good move there by those guys to settle it down before they got into the turn. And Jared Ingram now coming through. Keeping our eyes on the lap times. The quickest is a 17:016 by Norman. So no issues there as far as breakout time.
Ziske had to drop back, and now had a little contact between he and Pennington as Ziske goes way out wide, barely able to avoid the wall off of turn 4.
That's the thing about this track is you get so close to the wall, and from our angle here in the announcer's tower, it's a little iffy, but boy, we're getting close to the breakout time there. James Norman just went a 16.888, 1/10 of a second now off that breakout time. The rule is when you break out in the race, pass through penalties, so keep your eyes on the speed chart. Oh, Jared Ingram just broke out. 16.732 Ingram,
who's in the 32 car, creeping up on the front of the pack. And a white flag comes out one more time around for Alberto Navarrete. See if he can hold off James Norman. Up the backstretch they go.
Gotta keep an eye on that. Ingram in the 32 did get under the 750 mark, but the white flag again.
I thought that should have been,
the checkered.
Oh no, 7 is on the board, so I think our flagger, Jason Wilson, kind of lost track there off the throttle though. And oh my, Norman almost got hit from behind by Matt Lawson. I don't know what happened there.
I think what happened was they may have been communicating that Ingram broke out, so Wilson may have got distracted there. Not sure what exactly happened. If I had to hazard a guess, that's what happened.
So 4:24.32 is how they have it on the scoreboard here. So we'll see, but that's what we have right now as Alberto Navarrete will win the first heat race here for the Roadrunners. James Norman second and Jared Ingram third place. We'll take a quick break, get ready for the second round of heat races for the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
The 2 hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. 2 more reasons when it comes to buying a truck. There's no reason to leave town.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Welcome back to Racing Night here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, our 4th broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel, along with Greg Rentz. I'm Eric Granstrom as we get ready for our second heat race here tonight for the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. And in the front row on the inside will be the number 22 car of Emily Mackin Outside of her is a guy who certainly knows how to win here. There's 71 car is John Doyle. In the second row inside, the 98 is Carlin Coker. Outside of her in the 14 car is Mason Haygood. The inside on the back, you're going to have to help me with that car.
That's Colton Fisher in the 44.
All right, and then
the
33 is Brandon Knuff on the outside.
Here we go, won the green at the line. For Emily Mackin in the 22, had the issues in qualifying. We'll see if they continue out throughout the course of the day. You may notice a little bit of a different decal on the hood of the 14 car. It's hashtag Team Tanner, a former member of Mason's father's John's pit crew. Tanner Williams, unfortunately, had a horrific accident a few weeks ago, paralyzed from the chest down. And they are running Team Tanner in support of Tanner Williams, and we wish you the best in your recovery, Tanner. Green flag in the air, and question asked, question answered. The smoke once again coming out of the 22.
Oh! John Doyle goes sideways, and then sliding into him is Coker. See if everybody's all right. The front left bumper of John Doyle's car is bent in. I don't know if it's making a rub on the front left tire or not.
We'll have to see when Coker comes around who got the worst of that. She caught it with the right rear. We can't really see it from our broadcast point right now.
She looked a little loose there between turns 3 and 4.
See what happened. See what we're looking at?
Oh, yeah, her right rear tire is definitely bent, so I don't think she'll be able to continue.
No, they're going to have to go back and change or fix that.
John Doyle, meanwhile, with that bumper bent down, but it doesn't look like it's making any contact with the tire.
Yeah, he may be able to continue, but they're definitely going to want to fix that for the main event, but I think he'll be okay for this heat race.
Oh, it's too bad for Carlin Coker. I know that they were trying to get her out here last race we had at the Super Oval, but something came up and didn't happen, so the Leavenworth product has to head back to the other side of the wall, and she'd rather be out here on the track, I know.
Definitely a tough break for the Leavenworth driver. I think she's the only driver in the field out of Leavenworth tonight out of any of the classes. That's a town we don't really say the name of a whole lot, which is amazing considering just how close it is to us here in Wenatchee.
So they'll reset it here, and it will be, again, Emily Mackin, who's 14 years young. That'll be on the front, although we do have a vehicle on the track taking there's a piece of something on the track right there between turns 3 and 4. Our emergency vehicle is out there.
It's Monopoly money.
Hopefully there's no...
Was that a bottle of soda?
That was a bottle of...
That looked like a bottle of...
liquid. Yeah.
Looked like a bottle of Pepsi, courtesy of our friends at Weinstein Beverages.
I don't know where that would have come from. I don't think the drivers have something in a heat race that's only 8 laps with them to wet their whistle.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. I mean, it also could have found its way under the hood while they were working on the cars in the pit area.
You never know.
Nope.
Racing stories. I heard a great racing story from Tri-Cities not too long ago, because we had a test session down at Tri-City Raceway about a month ago. And while we were driving back, I heard an amazing racing story. It doesn't have to do with this, but just the thing of you never know what's going to happen at the racetrack. Brandon Reel and Jason Jefferson had made a bet one time that Brandon Reel could not hold it wide open through what's called the dog leg at Tri-City. And Brandon's like, I'll do it. So they go out to practice, and Brandon just stands on the throttle through the dog leg, just shoots right off the end of the track, barrel rolls a couple times, climbs out of the car, says, where's my $50?
Well, yeah, there's that.
So that just goes to tell you, anything can happen in racing. So if you're going to tell me a driver had a bottle of Pepsi fall out of their car because they were a little thirsty on their heat race, I'm going to believe it because anything can happen.
It could. You do have John Doyle, who's the elder statesman that's out there. I'm not saying it was John.
Who knows?
I think it probably came out of one of the vehicles that got damaged there. So here we go, green flag racing, and John Doyle's going to take the lead as they head into turn 1.
Emily Mackin off the pace in this 22. Keeping our eyes on that 71 of Doyle, because remember, he does have the damage from that incident with Carlin Coker. as Mason Haygood getting a run in the number 14. There may have been contact between those two, which led to that. So crossing the strike at the line, it was Doyle at the line, according to our timing and scoring.
Little puff of smoke coming out of the back end of Haygood's car as John Doyle leads him to turns 3 and 4 here. Quite a battle for first place, but Doyle's going to lead us through lap 2.
Leading the way right now with that damaged front bumper as Brandon Knopf with a little bit of a slide in the 33. Is it Knopf or Knopf?
I think I say Knopf. But Knopf putting some pressure on second place right now. Haygood having a look maybe over his shoulder a little bit. Haygood going to go inside.
Oh, contact.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, boy.
And look out. 3 cars collide. Doyle, it has been a rough night tonight here for John Doyle. And dipping off the track will be Mason Haygood. The 15-year-old will head off the track. Meanwhile, Doyle's car pinned that of Brandon Knopf out on the wall there in turn 2.
Advantage Colton Fisher. He got through that. He's going to inherit the race lead there.
And John Doyle this time will head towards the pit area as he'll need an eyeball on his vehicle to make sure he doesn't have any loose parts ready to come off.
And I think everyone else down there is going to have an eyeball to make sure that nobody crosses into fluids. No, not so much that. I'm more worried about maybe some tempers possibly flaring after that one. I mean,
could be.
Anything can happen. Seen it time and time again in short track racing.
Well, John Doyle is making a quick turn towards his pit area.
Mason Haygood's rolling in the number 14 car, getting back out there, it would appear, after coming in for some quick repairs. So there is your new race leader, Colton Fisher, in the number 44, the Soap Lake product. Called Ephrata Raceway Park his home track for many years. Then he's kind of been bouncing back and forth between Wenatchee and Hermiston last couple of years. Here he is leading the way at Wenatchee.
5 classes of races here tonight at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We are in the second heat race tonight for the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. And as you mentioned, coming back out on the track is Mason Haygood after they took a look to make sure his car was in all the pieces it needs to be in the right spot. It looks like it is, and not dropping any fluids out there. Meanwhile, I don't see John Doyle making an attempt. He's back in his slot at pit row.
He's pitted all the way in the back where we can't see him, so he's probably just saying, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and get the car ready for the main
event. Well, you go sideways and get T-boned a couple of times in one race, you probably think, I'm just going to head out.
Oh, wait,
here.
nope. As I say that, I just saw him come around the back corner there. He's rolling. You can barely see from our broadcast point. There's a little bit of a strip. It's about 1.5 feet tall, where under the billboards and above the wall you can kind of see it here on your screen. You can see the strip we're talking about underneath the billboard on top of the wall, and it's just enough that you can see the cars moving around. We saw John Doyle squeaking through there on that backstretch there on pit road, but he's being held right now by the officials who are doing a once-over of his car.
Getting some attention over there, trying to pull on that fender, that front left fender, I believe. Because remember, that's where the first contact was made and the bumper kind of curled under. And that contact again just moments ago with Haygood maybe curl a little piece of fender. They're worried about the tire. It looks like they've got that taken care of as the yellow flag still on the track here. So here comes John Doyle, going to get himself back into this race.
Got some duct tape on there as well. I mean, who doesn't love duct tape?
100-mile-an-hour tape. You got to love it. Well, now you got to watch what happens here between the 71 car and the 14 car. It was Haygood that got
into Doyle.
Into Doyle. So now John is behind him.
And I think that wasn't the first time in this heat race that those two had gotten together. I'm pretty sure that's what happened on the initial one as well.
Haygood was trying to dip inside of Doyle, and Doyle...
Honestly, it doesn't look too bad, that number 71 car.
No.
All things considered.
Well, and as many close calls as Dale Winterberg had in it the last time this car appeared on this track back in July for the Roadrunner race that was held that night. Dale was able to stay out of contact with everybody, but John not having that same luck here as we're green flag racing once again.
Colton Fisher out to the big lead in the number 44. That car still has the license plate on it. That's how That's how close these cars are to what you see on the street every day. That car still has the license plate on the back. We'll see if we can get a better shot of that in the turn number 1. It's got it on the front, too. You can see it on the screen as it comes by.
How about that?
I'm going to have to go look and see what year it's registered under.
Might be registered now. We heard that from some of the legend drivers that they make them street legal. So
seen a couple of them. There's actually somewhere a street legal sprint car rolling around here somewhere in this country. Don't ask me how.
Well, we're halfway through, and the battle right now is the one we're watching at third place between Haygood and Doyle. Doyle back of him several car lengths, however.
Fisher leading the way. There's your battle we're talking about, Haygood and Doyle. Battle for third right now. That was your battle for the lead before the incident happened, which gave the lead to Colton Fisher, who's had some strong runs. He picked up a win at Hermiston last year in a heat race, has had some very strong runs in this car.
Brandon Knuff closing the gap, couple of laps to go. Can he catch him?
Remember, he had some damage as well in that incident. He was the fastest car on the track last time by 16.577.
Here it comes on the outside. We got Mackin. That's going to be some traffic in front on this final lap. Watch this.
16.55 or 577. That's breakout time. Contact.
Everybody's okay.
Fisher's slow though.
Fisher is out. Meanwhile, taking the lead and going to win this race is Brandon Knuff in the 33K.
I'm going to say this is probably going to be your
black flag. Black flag.
Black flag for the breakout.
So it will be Haygood that will finish first.
Doyle just
and I think Doyle
may have blown up.
Yeah, I think he might be done for the night. Looks like he might be dropping some fluids.
Oh boy, fluids again.
Oh yeah. And it'll be Emily Mackin finishing third in this race.
You know what I just realized? You know what's next? Pro Late models. What happened last time Pro Late models were next?
We had oil on the track. So we'll have to check and make sure that we don't have any oil on the track from the car of John Doyle, as we try to sift our way through that one. Believe it or not, yes, it is Mason Haygood who takes first place in that race. Second place will go to John Doyle, and third will go to Mackin. As we have it sorted out, we've got folks checking the track right now. And speaking of John Doyle and Cameron Doyle, father-son duo that are racing here this weekend at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, we'll hear from them both and a little hijinks yesterday here at the track coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Wenatchee Power Sports not only has a new owner, but an all-new attitude to match. Speaking of attitude, check out the 2021 models arriving now. Polaris snowmobiles, ATVs and side-by-sides. Yamaha motorcycles, watercraft ATVs and side-by-sides. KTM motorcycles and the latest edition Beta high-performance motorcycles. Coming this fall, a huge demo event featuring the latest and hottest off-road machines. It's all at the retuned Wenatchee Power Sports, where maximum performance is a way of life. 3031 GS Center Road in North Wenatchee, open Tuesday through Saturday.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
A little break in the action here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Les Schwab night, and talking with the father-son duo of the Doyles. We got John, we got Cameron. Before we get into the father-son and family thing, Cameron, I got to find out about this little prank that was played on Mr. Jeremy Anders. Tell me more about that.
Oh yeah, you know, we found out he's pretty scared of snakes there. So the other day we found a nice sized rattlesnake, and we killed it, and we knew we had to pull a prank on him, so we knew he was mowing the lawn today, so we tossed it right on the mower's deck, and he definitely got a good scare out of it.
You know what they say about paybacks, right?
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
Now, Dad, is that, you know, a prank that you take pride in, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have fun. You got to have fun. Jeremy will get over it.
So you guys are racing in two different classifications this weekend, as per usual. John, this car is doing real well for you, and then for Winterberg here a couple of weeks ago, my gosh, whoever you put behind the wheel does well.
Yeah, it's a good running car. So I think we got it fine-tuned. Got a new set of tires for this week. Change the oil, transmission fluid, and it's ready to go.
Now, John said he was actually out of town, not too far away, but doing a little vacation. You actually watched the race where Dale was racing your car, had a close call. That make you pucker up a little bit there, John?
Yeah, I saw that, and I told Dale, don't wreck it. Well, wrecking it's okay. Don't blow up the engine. But no, he drove right through that, and yeah, there was oil all over the car, so clean that up, and he did a great job, though. I was impressed.
Yeah, that was some fancy driving. Now, Cameron, I know you've been still trying to dial in your Thunder car. How's that coming?
Oh, we definitely worked on it for quite a while today, and I think we got something that we can work with tomorrow.
So when you guys are racing, is it excitement? Is it nerves? What is it when son's watching dad or dad's watching son?
Oh, it's excitement. It's, when I first started doing this, Cameron drove this 2 years ago, and I was shocked at how crazy it is when the first couple races I was a mess. And even in a Roadrunner, you're out there with cars, and then practice is one thing, but then a race is a whole other thing. So now that I'm used to it, it's just fun. It's exciting, and you just root for each other. But you want all the drivers to do good. You want everybody to be safe, and just a lot of fun.
Cameron, how about you when you're watching Dad out there?
Oh, it's definitely exciting, but it gets a little nerve-wracking sometimes. Hoping everything works out well, But yeah, it's definitely exciting watching your cars do well, and yeah.
Now, you guys obviously father-son, but I've found just being around the racing here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, now celebrating 50 years, that it's a bigger family, isn't it, John?
It is. Everybody helps each other out. If something goes wrong or you need to borrow something, everybody's here to help. Everybody's here to have fun, and like I said, it's really been clean racing this year, and it's been a lot of good racing.
Well, wish you guys the best of luck this weekend. Stay safe, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
There you go, Cameron and John Doyle. Father-son doing it here this weekend at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval.
Well, thanks to father and son there, John and Cameron Doyle, for joining us yesterday in the pit area. So I had a chance to visit with some of the race teams, and we're probably going to have a few more moments to visit with some more of the race teams as we have some more fluid on the track as the wind continues to pelt the drivers and the crews that are beyond the wall here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. And I guess it's one of those nights where if we couldn't have fans in person, then you're probably loving the fact you're watching this wherever you may be, on your mobile device or at home comfortably on your television set, because it is awfully windy here this evening at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. We hope that might help us dry up the track a little bit with the fluids that came out of John Doyle's car in the last race, as John had to exit early. Well, actually, he was able to finish the race, even though he did have some fluid coming out. So we are waiting for our main events, right?
We still got our Pro Late heat races coming.
Yes, we have the Pro Late Model heat races still to come here.
Well, we may see a record tonight here on NCWLIFE channel here, Eric. We may set a record for most speedy dry used in a single night here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
That's a record you don't want, Greg.
No, I was announcing the night we broke or set the current standing record. It was the Spring Sizzler back in 2017, and the first 6 laps of the late model race went with one car leaking transmission fluid because the tranny plug fell out on their pace laps. No. 6 laps worth of transmission fluid was on the track. We used every single bag of speedy drive we had that night. We went the rest of that 100-lap race going, boy, I hope no one else blows up. Otherwise, we're going to have to call this race.
Well, that is what we're waiting for, is the Pro Late Models in their first heat race, and we will take a break and come back with more here from Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, and we'll hear from more of the youngsters that I had a chance to talk to yesterday as we come your way live here at the Fancher Heights location of Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Les Schwab night. Back with more right after this.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Well, a little break in the action here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval this weekend. And yes, the Bandalero drivers are a little young. We've got a 9-year-old right now joining us from Deer Park, Cole Dazenbrock. How you doing, Cole?
Good.
Well, tell me about you. We're here at practice on Friday night, so we're running this tonight during the races, so it's a little confusing. But how was practice last night?
Really good.
So what did you learn? Is this your first time to WVSO?
This is my first time at Wenatchee.
Okay. So what did you learn about this track out there?
It makes you go a lot faster because it's super banked.
Okay. So you can kind of carry that speed into the corners, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So I got to tell, our audience is wondering right now, a 9-year-old racing, but this isn't your first year, right?
No, I raced last year.
So was this your first year in the Bandaleros?
No.
Okay. So before this, did you race kart or something like that too, or go-karts?
I raced go-karts.
Okay, all right. Now I understand from talking with Mom a little bit that you've got a bunch of buddies that race as well?
I do.
Okay. So being from Deer Park, where's your home track then?
Sometimes I ride out at Sunset, sometimes I ride at Spokane, I ride all over.
Okay. So do you have a hero that you watch maybe on TV and you want to be like them?
Sometimes I watch NASCAR and Supercross.
Okay, all right. So do you have a favorite NASCAR driver?
No.
No? You just like to watch him. Is that something you'd like to do maybe later in life?
Yes.
Okay. How about any other sports? Are you involved in any other sports?
I do a lot.
Like?
Wrestling, soccer, baseball, kickboxing, a bunch of stuff.
A multifaceted young man here. So you mentioned wrestling first. Now, Deer Park has a pretty good wrestling program, don't they?
I wrestle for a Bighorn.
Okay, all right, very cool. Well, hey, best of luck this weekend. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Uh-huh.
Well, there you go. He's from Deer Park. He's got a big fan base here, big fan base at home, I'm sure, as well. It is Cole Dazenbrock joining us this weekend in the Bandaleros at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Well, it is a gorgeous night to look at. It's not so gorgeous if you're outside trying to handle cameras right now, and we certainly appreciate our crew that is bringing you the images here tonight from Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We're getting the wagging of the yellow flag out beyond the wall across from us here in turn 3, so that means we're just about ready for our first heat race in the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, and they will take the track and you will hear the thunder roar. In fact, if you're in the Wenatchee Valley anywhere tonight, you can step out on your porch right now and you can hear these cars race around the quarter-mile asphalt, quickest track in the West. Here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, Greg Rentz set us up for this 8-lap heat race.
This is Andy Beeman on the pole out of Sela, Washington in the number 3. To his outside will be Brad Morrison in the number 4 out of Moses Lake. Another Yakima product, Jake Woods, 1 win on the season in the number 22. Will roll off third. To his outside, how about the hottest pro late model driver in the Northwest right now, Glenn Knutson. 6 straight wins going into the Idaho Shorts last week. The streak stopped with a second last weekend. Bar head senior in the 68. I almost said junior because junior's driven that car all year long. This is senior's first time getting to drive the car tonight. And then rounding out the field for this heat race will be Chad Holliday in the 33, who is behind the wheel. We're so used to seeing him in the number 31, but he's in the 33 tonight. 2016 champion, bringing up this field shotgun.
So here we go as the sun slowly sinks in the west, just about ready to duck behind the enchantments, which makes for a lovely scene here. Hard for the drivers to see, though, heading up that back stretch right there as we get ready for this heat race for the Jerry's Auto Supply of Pro Late models here tonight. One of our 5 classes of racing at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Les Schwab night.
And the good news, Eric, is that, yes, the red flags have helped with that. Sometimes at Wenatchee, we actually, this time of year, will have to stop the race and go red for about 10-15 minutes because the sun is just in those drivers' eyes so bad where they are right now on the backstretch. They're not able to see very well. All these red flags have really helped that because the sun has gotten beyond that point almost. So we may be able to continue on without having to do that just with the sheer amount of stuff that we've had happen tonight. It's almost a blessing in disguise.
So 3, 4, 22, 68, 16, and 33. Those are the car numbers. Get your bids in at home. Who you think's going to win this heat race here tonight at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval is our flagman, Jason Wilson, says one more time around and we'll be green flag here tonight is Andy Beeman. Will be on the inside on the front row. Outside of him is Brad Morrison in the number 4 car out of Moses Lake. And then inside on row number 2 is Jake Woods. Watch for him. 68 outside of him is Bart Hector Sr. And of course, the man who's had so much success here, Glenn Knutson in the 16, and then Chad Holliday. Here we go.
Green flag in the air. And Holliday, the 33, kind of hanging back on the initial start. Not going to tear it up here in this heat race. He's just going to ride it out for 8 laps. He's not running for points, so he's just going to chill in the back and save it for the main event and let the boys up front battle it out as Beeman is going to lead lap number 1 side by side between Jake Woods and Brad Morrison for the 2nd spot.
Boy, you can feel the horsepower in your chest as they come by, as they head up the backstretch.
Woods getting up on Beeman there. The Acura drivers. Oh, some contact between Hector and Knutson there. That's for 4th. And keep it pointed straight. As they come by, there's no better sight than late models roaring around this track. And we hope that before the end of the season, we've got fans in the house to feel it with us.
Jake Woods going to go outside on this lap coming off of turn 4.
Seeing that more and more over the last few years, the outside lane really beginning to come in.
Loose.
Hector, big slide in the 68. It's going to fall back to Chad Holliday. Meanwhile, up front, Jake Woods has poked his nose out in front of the 22. Led the lap just barely. 5/100ths of a second here between him and Beeman. 2 Yakima boys going at it here in Wenatchee for the race lead as they battle side by side. Woods with a little bit of a slide there. Beeman is back.
Meanwhile, 3rd place, Glenn Knutson. Watch him waiting for a mistake up in front of him with 2 laps to go.
There was. Woods slid up the track just a little bit, and there was Glenn to pounce as Holliday gets around Morrison. White flag. Beeman back to the lead. Side by side for 2nd, but Woods trying to get that outside lane going again. Knutson coming down the inside. Here they go into turn number 3. Final time. Checker flag. Drag race. Beeman.
Close. I think Beeman got him.
Beeman holds on. Margin of victory 3/100ths of a second. Andy Beeman, your winner of the B Heat. Here in the late models, the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models.
Andy, I think, was coming towards the start-finish line to collect his trophy.
I think so.
Didn't get that note.
Either that or he's just giving a hello to our viewers at home.
Is that it? Okay, a little victory lap there for Andy Beeman. Congratulations out of Sela, winning the first heat race here tonight for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models. 2nd place to Jake Woods and Glenn Knutson in 3rd.
We move right along to our other one, Cameron Brugman in the 97. We've seen Josh Ingram wheel this car to many years and a championship, but he is stepping out of the seat tonight to allow Cameron Brugman to drive the car. Steve Blankenship got the repairs done to the 47. Remember, he was leaking a lot of fluid earlier in the day. here he is out on track in the number 47. Got it fixed. Gary Homad in the 6th, back at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval after many years away. Michael Knutson rounding out the top 4, with the field being rounded out by Steve Floyd in the 40 and Gary Shales in the 63.
Appreciate you joining us here on NCW Life Channel tonight. On television here locally on Local-Tel Channel 12. Also on Channel Charter 19, Northland 97 out in the Ephrata and Soap Lake area. And of course, streaming live on our website, ncwlife.com, and on Facebook. Howdy to all of our Facebook viewers here tonight.
And going through comments on one of the commercial breaks, I saw we got some people watching from Florida. We've got people from all over the country watching again here tonight. So hello to all of our viewers, not just in the Wenatchee area, but wherever you're watching. Say hello in the chat and let us know where you're watching racing from the fastest quarter mile in North America, Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. All right, Steve Blankenship, the 47, got the repairs done. Green flag in the air. We'll keep an eye on it. See how it does as we go green, but Cameron Brugman jumping out to the lead early in the 97, washes up the track. Steve Floyd washes way up the track in the 40 as Mike Knutson gets around Blankenship and give lap 1 to the 97 of Brugman, but Steve Floyd hanging back in the 40.
Michael Knutson going to stick his nose in there right behind Brugman. Let's see what the Quincy driver is able to do as he goes outside, coming off of turn 4.
Gets the run. Brugman at the line just barely, but Knutson makes the outside work. Seen his brother do that last time to him, and he's saying, you know what, I'm going to learn a thing or two from Glenn, and I'm going to take the lead on the outside.
Blankenship, meanwhile, has a battle behind him with Homad coming on strong for 3rd place.
Steve Floyd kind of hanging back there in the 40. That car won in Hermiston a few weeks ago with Brent Harris, so a Wenatchee legend behind the wheel. Steve Floyd back behind the wheel of the Ogle Family Racing entry tonight, but up front, it's Mike Knutson in the 51. Funny story about earlier today. They keep the Knutson cars up at the Evans Racing Shop, which is located just beyond the parking lot here. Mike Knutson came in with that car on the flatbed open trailer. 5 minutes later, here came Knutson driving the ERE hauler with his car in it. Oh!
Homad getting loose.
Homad with a big slide. Nice save by the number 6, Gary Shales, hanging in there. I was so impressed with the qualifying effort of Gary Shales today. Qualifying up there in the top 5.
Cameron Brugman, meanwhile, trying to push Michael Knutson.
Getting a run in that number 97. White flag in the air. Can Brugman get it back? Knutson, of course, 2017 track champion in that 51. That car, the 97, won the track championship in 2018 with Josh Ingram driving it. Cameron Brugman behind the wheel tonight, but checker flag is out. It is going to be Mike Knutson in the 51. Brugman 2nd. Ooh, drag race there for 4th. I believe Homad was able to hold off Shales. He was by a 10th. Hey, Eric, we are done with heat racing here.
All right, and I don't see any fluid on the track. That's a good sign. As the track actually is all in shadows now, the lights will slowly flicker on here as we'll get ready for our first main event of the night, and that will be our Bandalero class, which is a huge class here tonight. We've had some little fender bender action. We'll see who's ready to go for the Bandos when we come back here live on the NCW Life channel at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval right after this.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
At Town Toyota, we believe in our community, and we're proud to support this broadcast of local sports. Town Toyota defines reliability and value in both its products and in the dealership itself. We are home to legendary products like the RAV4, Highlander, and Camry, not to mention Tundras and Tacoma trucks. Of course, we offer service for everything we sell and a great selection of pre-owned and certified vehicles as well. So enjoy the game and visit Town Toyota for all your automotive needs.
Well, that sun sank quickly around the mountains to our west, and we are in shadows here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Soon to light up the track will be our Bandalero class. We had 11 to start today, but it has been kind of a rough day, so we'll see if we have, I think we'll maybe get about 9 for this main event.
About what I would expect. I'd say 9. We might see them get the repairs done to those 2 that had the issue, Brooke Brooks and Allie Mae Jones. We may see him out there, but it's a close call. But look at this beautiful backdrop here. I've mentioned it a couple times in the past. I firmly believe that the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval is the most picturesque racetrack in the nation, and that's why right there you've got the mountains surrounding it, the sun setting off here behind turn number 4. You got the hills all around the racetrack. This is such a beautiful facility, and we are so lucky to be able to keep doing this time and time again for 50 years at this racetrack, and none of it would be possible without the help of all our great sponsors at this racetrack.
Yeah, let's talk about them while we have a moment, and we may be able to swing around and show the cameras, have the cameras show the billboards here. Of course, WW Pumping Service to our far end. That's over in the middle of turn 3 and 4 there, as we look at it from left to right.
Johnson Electric right there. That's a proud sponsor of our Bump to Pass class out here.
Kissin' Country 97.7. Of course, got to have radio help along the way as well. United Rentals and Kokanee Glacier Fresh Beer.
It's my favorite beer right there. If you ever feel like being generous when we have fans in the stands, I like Kokanee. Holiday Custom Muffler, and a proud sponsor of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, Chad Holiday, racer many, many years, many different cars. His son Colby there as well. Plumb Perfect, sponsor of our Roadrunners, and when it's open, who doesn't love going down the Clearwater?
Saloon and Casino down in East Wenatchee. Of course, also Randy's Towing. Appreciate them not only being a sponsor, but also being here at the track to help out if we need any towing issues. Smitty's Pancake House, of course, a legendary tradition here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, one of our sponsors of the track, and as you mentioned, been sponsoring racing here since it began 50 years ago.
Absolutely. Jerry's Auto Supply, another long-time sponsor, and of course the big one, Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, where the name means a great deal. And we are going to have to give you the second half of the rundown after this, or when we get our chance, because Bandalero is out for their main event, and I see Allie Mae out there, I see Brooke Brooks out there. We got our full field of 11.
How about that? So doing some wrenching down in the pits have been the crews here to have a full field for this start of the main event. They are scheduled for 20 laps here. The Bandoleros. These are the youngsters. These are the kids aged 8 to 14 that are out here in these cars. The first car you see on the track is that of the 07. It's a new color scheme for her. In fact, it's a whole new car for her because of an accident earlier this year. McKenna Lutz will lead us to the start-finish line as they warm things up here. The 24 car is Cole Dazenbrock out of Deer Park. The 03 is Kelly Dumont from Charlotte, Montana. Welcome. The Jordan Mullins 11X car is out of Natchez. 16 is Allie Mae Jones. They were able to do some good monkey wrenching there to get that car back as it hit the wall earlier tonight in a heat race. The 45 car is that of Cannon DeLong, just 9 years of age, out of Ephrata. The 13 car, and you said to watch this one here tonight,
absolutely,
is Riker Oler.
Have to keep an eye on the Iceman, Riker
out
Oler.
Of Prosser. That's that bright orange 13 on the gunmetal gray. The 5J all the way from Oregon City, Oregon, James Hamlin, 9 years of age. The 22 car is that of Emerson Getz out of Okanagan. The 28 is from Waterville. Hello to the Plateau, and go Shockers, Brooke Brooks driving that one tonight for the Ben Reed family. And then the 91 car is that of Dakota Ballard out of Yakima.
So 11 cars strong for this Bandalero main event. This is the biggest field of Bandoleros I've ever seen. We had one close to this last year. I believe we had a 9-car field last year in our season finale for the Bandos because we had a bunch of our friends from north of the border come down, and they're racing up in Saskatoon tonight because they can't come down and we can't go up there to race because of the COVID-19 situation. But man, can you imagine all these cars here and all the Canadian cars coming down? That adds another 5 or 6 into the mix.
Fantastic. Well, we saw in the heat race earlier that McKenna Lutz certainly has become comfortable with that gray 07. She jumped out in the front in both starts of her heat race earlier tonight as she was a winner at the checkered flag. So we'll see if McKenna Lutz has the pedal and the medal on the outside of row 1.
She's starting alongside the Deer Park native Cole Dasenbrock in the 24, bright orange and black number 24, but keep your eye on Mullins in the 11 and Riker Oler in the 13. Those are the two that are going to be trying to make their way through the field. Can't count out last week's winner, Allie Mae Jones, either, or last time out, I should say. Green flag in the air.
They're almost 3 wide as we come across the start-finish line, and it will be McKenna Lutz on the outside. Little contact going on.
20-lap main event, and that is what Lutz wants to see. Well, not exactly what she wants to see, but that'll help her out with one of the faster cars there. Mullins having problems, and Dasenbrock as well. Lutz out to a big lead here in the 07. She's going to lead lap 1 and has a pretty solid lead over Dumont as we cross the strike, and McKenna was the fastest car that first lap there, but look who's coming on the outside. Right there, the big gray and orange number 13, the Iceman Riker Roller moving through the field.
Riker in that 13 car. McKenna Lutz, meanwhile, will come around off of turn 4, and she will lead us through lap number 2. Second place right now is Kelby Dumont out of Charlotte, Montana. Third place, closing gap, is Cannon DeLong.
Fastest car on the track was the 6th place number 5 of James Hamlin, who's hanging back right behind this battle. There he is, squeaking into the blue. Battle for the lead beginning to break out now as Dumont has a run on Lutz. Lutz will still lead the lap, but the field has caught up, and here comes Riker. Former Hermiston track champion in the 13. Many a win here. Problems for the 45 now of Cannon DeLong. He's off the pace in the 45. Lutz continues to lead the way. Pressure coming, though, from Dumont, and now Riker Oler says hello.
We should also mention that Jordan Mullins, after that contact, and he was on the front row, now back in 4th place.
Yeah, Jordan Mullins has entered the chat as well, but here comes Dumont. Montana versus Wenatchee here on the outside, and give it to the Montana driver. Dumont taking the lead at Wenatchee as we are 1/4 of the way through this race. 5 down, 15 to go. There goes Lutz.
She will take it on the grass, and she will drop back all the way to 7th place as Kelby Dumont will take over first. 2nd place is Mullins. 3rd place, they're not yellow, they're still green flag here, is that one to watch, Riker Oler.
Lap traffic up in front now, the 28 of Brooks. JJ Mullins up there as well now in the 11. Here comes Oler trying to get around as Dumont continues to lead. Mullins taking a peek to the inside, gets a run. JJ Mullins getting the lead at Wenatchee.
So Mullins will take over first place.
Look back here, the 5 of Hamlin using the slower car as a pick. He was able to get around Allie Mae Jones, but he washes way up the track in the 5, which is going to allow Allie Mae to come back on the inside. Meanwhile, lap traffic once again for Mullins. He's going to have to let off the throttle, and this is allowing Dumont to hang with him.
Mullins off of turn 4 will lead us through 9 laps of this 20-lap main event. Meanwhile, through lap traffic goes Oler in 3rd place. And the car out of Charlotte, Montana, Kelby Dumont, trying to close the gap, take a challenge at 1st place.
Wants to lead back. Oh, push up the track. That's going to cost him time as Mullins is able to pull away a little bit there. But Dumont hanging with him. Lap traffic up in front once again. Emerson gets in the 22. Halfway, 10 down, 10 to go, and Mullins leading the way. Fastest car on the track last time by was that number 11. Mullins leading, Dumont having a great run in 2nd. How about Riker Oler up to 3rd, Hamlin 4th, and Allie Mae Jones had the wreck in the heat race. A lot of damage to that number 16 car, got it fixed, and here she is in the top 5.
Quite a battle for first place, but there goes Dumont getting a little bit squirrely off of turn 4. Will drop back, and there's Riker Oler to take advantage.
And that brings James Hamlin with him, so just like that, Dumont back to 4th. And has to fight to get some momentum built back up, and she now has 3 very fast cars to get around. Meanwhile, Mullins has opened up a big lead now over second place Riker Oler, who's going to go around Brooke Brooks. Oregon City represented in third right now.
Boy, Hamlin sure does come wide off of turn 4 there. His speed takes him a little bit wide there, and that costs him as he tries to track down Riker Oler for second place. But all alone out in first place, almost a half of a backstretch in the lead is Jordan Mullins.
Mullins leading the way. He won at State Line a few weeks ago. McKenna Lutz got second, but Mullins leading the way, looking for a second win in a row right now. Trying to hold off Oler. Many wins at Hermiston in that car. Hasn't got a win at Wenatchee yet, but has been strong.
Ellie Mae Jones getting caught back in the track on some lap traffic back there. She comes off a turn 4-way now.
Cole Dasenbrock hanging back there as well, beginning to apply a little bit of pressure to Jones in traffic in the 24. Lap traffic again for the leader of J.J. Mullins, but he's from the Mullins family. He's not afraid of it as McKenna Lutz gets back around the 24 of Dasenbrock, so Lutz back to 6th after leading the first few laps.
Boy, after that first skirmish, these kids have done a great job of keeping everything in line here for the rest of this race.
They have. It's been a fantastic job by these drivers. As Mullins pulling away, he's going to see the white flag this time by, and J.J. Mullins is looking for win number 2 in a row, and his first there here at Wenatchee. White flag, 1 lap to go. J.J. Mullins been so close so many times. Problem was there's a young man by the name of Evan Getz in the field who just kept edging him out. But tonight, it's J.J. Mullins' night in the number 11. Back-to-back wins, and he gets it done here. Checker flag is out. Mullins wins. Oler's second, Hamlin third, but there is going to be a race for 5th between 2 of the young ladies, McKenna Lutz and Ellie Mae Jones. They are side by side in turn number 3 for the final time. Lutz inside. Here comes Dasenbrock. 3 wide for the end, and it's gonna be Lutz holding on. Oh no! Lutz held on just barely. 2/100ths of a second for the 5th spot. Dasenbrock with a huge run on the outside.
All right, Greg, I'm going to let you head downstairs and talk to our 3 top finishers here for the, don't forget to power that on there, my friend, as he'll grab the wireless microphone, and we'll head down trackside as we will talk to the winner, James Hamlin out of Oregon City, Oregon. Excuse me, I apologize, I got that wrong there. It was the winner, as I just completely drop all my notes here.
Wireless check.
There we go. Wireless is working. There we go. And it is Jordan Mullins. There we go. Jordan Mullins is the winner of the Bandalero main event here tonight. Second place to Riker Oler out of Prosser.
I can't see it.
Congratulations to all of the youngsters that are battling here tonight at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval and doing such a great
fans,
job.
He's already out of the car. Your winner of the Bandalero main here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, J.J. Mullins, getting it done. And J.J., as he gets his safety gear off, we'll have him come around here to the front. And J.J. getting it done tonight, 2 in a row for you going back to State Line.
Yeah, this has been fun out here racing with all these people. The first lap went under the guy in first. Went under him, we got a little bit loose, didn't see me there. Went under the white line. We got back to the back, but we made it back to the front.
All right, JJ, we're a little bit behind, so we're going to have to make these interviews quick. But second win in a row for you. Who do you want to thank?
I would like to thank Always Transport for helping us with this car. I'd like to thank Daytona 1, and that's all.
That's your winner, J.J. Mullins, moving over here to second. He's taking his gear off. Riker Oler, former Hermiston champion, and Riker showing signs of what you've done over the years at Hermiston. Another very strong run here tonight. He's getting his mask on. But Riker, another solid run for you here.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all my sponsors and everybody. And I got a Match Perfect Swagger special set of tires on here too.
He got it done. Second place, Riker Oler. And with a third place, how about James Hamlin in the number 5? And James, we were watching you. You were going way up to the wall, but kept it off. Great job. He's a little shy. Give it up for your third place driver, James Hamlin in the number 5. First main event wrapped up. 4 more to go. We are getting set to go back racing, Eric.
All right, thank you very much. Greg Rentz down there trackside with our top 3 finishers here in the Bandaleros tonight. The win goes to Jordan Mullins, second place to Riker Oler, and third to Kelby Dumont out of, or excuse me, I should mention that actually third place to James Hamlin. There we go. Third place to James Hamlin. There we go. We got the right finish there and the right number and the right time as we get ready for our second main event of the evening, as we'll go to the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. It's going to get loud here coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel. Stay right there.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning has been proudly serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 35 years. And just as Dick's has been there for you, they have also been an essential part of our community, supporting local youth sports all year long and your Wenatchee Wild.
Thanks for your support. Thanks, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, for all your support. Thank you.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, your local, independent, trained comfort specialist. Call 884-6444 today.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee Valley Super Oval as darkness creeps upon us, and behind the wall we have 4 of our Mountain Dew Junior Late Models ready to take the track here for our main event for that classification here tonight, as we get one more of our Bandaleros to start up and leave our start-finish line here. We appreciate all of our sponsors, especially we're going through the list here of the sponsorship of Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, and Jeremy Anders has been quick to point that out, that hey, we don't do this, we don't have these races, especially with the fact there's no fans here, without the support, financial support of our local businesses. We left off with talking about Weinstein Beverage.
Yeah, the Pepsi products you get here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. I mean, I myself, I got to have at least 2 Mountain Dews throughout the course of a race day, and got to thank them out for that. You got Busch Beer available at the Beer Garden. Les Schwab Tires, they're tonight's sponsor, the Toy Drive. I had an idea. I didn't really get off the ground, but in Korea, they were putting stuffed animals in the crowd during the baseball season during the pandemic. I was trying to talk people into doing that here, but the idea didn't really get off the ground. So maybe we'll be able to do that at a future race this year with the pandemic situation going on. Zero Handicap Golf Cart Sales, another proud sponsor here. Carlin Coker in the 98 doing a few safety laps after the damage to the right rear of that number 98 car, the Leavenworth driver. Budweiser back there on the billboard. What's that back there? Superior Light Beer, that Michelob? I can't really tell the logo.
I don't see where you left off there. Yes, Michelob.
Yep, and then Mountain Dew, talked about Mountain Dew. 12 Tribes Casino joined the team a couple years ago. Love having them on board. And, of course, Bud Light. Nelson Motorsports. There's another big Les Schwab tire sign. Cedars Inn, the hotel of Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. That's where most of the racers stay when they come in from out of town. Cedars Inn. Gotta love staying there. And then, of course, IBEW and NECA, the credit unions that help us out here. And North Valley Mechanical, huge supporting sponsor of this racetrack is North Valley Mechanical, and we love Rod and his team, and they put so much effort into this racetrack, and we love having them on board. Cintas, Z Country 94.7, Knutson Construction, they're on the hood of a couple very fast pro late models here at Wenatchee. Is that Bud Light Seltzer on the billboard? Yeah, it is. I haven't had one of those yet, so cannot comment on that. And of course, the Quake 1021 rounding it out there.
As we have the rumble, the noise, race. It is the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models taking to the track here. And their main event tonight will be 25 laps, and provided everybody stays clean, these 25 laps will go by pretty quickly.
Junior late models, kids around the same age as the Bandalero drivers, a little bit older requirement for the ability to drive the car, but kind of the same thing. Learning class, teaching these drivers how to drive these cars. You're taking a look at a former Bando champion, Kaden Moran, the 05, 2 former Bando champions in the field, Moran and the driver behind her, Evan Getz, the 22. Let's talk about the starting lineup. On the pole is Ephrata's Danica Dart in the number 11, many-time quarter midget champion, including a huge win down in Las Vegas. Then you see Haley Constance. She was your winner the last time the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models were here. She's the only driver not named Evan Getz to win the main event this season. There's Getz in the 22, starting into the outside of Kaden Moran, the 05. So that's your 4-driver field for this 25-lap main event.
Here we go. Thanks for joining us on the NCW Life channel tonight. Wherever you may be watching us, we understand we got folks all across the country, even down in Florida, that are watching us right now. So thank you for tuning in and streaming us on our Facebook feed. Appreciate it, and tell us hello as we're ready to go racing for the main event for the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
Danica Dart going to lead them to green, picking it up, and we go racing. Danica Dart leading the way. Haley Constance, winner last time out here at Wenatchee. Getting a good run here. Comes Moran in the 05 for second. Evan Getz kind of hanging back there. Caution is out.
Flag.
Caution is out, and not sure what the caution was there.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. It looked like it was pretty clean racing, but it looks like Jason Wilson, our flagger, didn't like the start, possibly. We were through a full lap and a half when he came out with that yellow flag.
We'll see here. Scoring shows we did not complete a lap, so...
Yeah, he's going to restart it.
All right, we're going to reset him, so must not have liked how they came off turn number 4 there. So Dart leading the way in the 11 with Constance to her outside, and then you got Kaden Moran, the 05, and Evan Getz in the 22.
Full-size cars, youngsters behind the wheel, but you put that all aside when it comes to racing, and here we go, green flag.
And Danica Dart in the 11 once again. Constance on the outside in the 78, gets down in front of Moran, comes back up in front of Getz. Dart leading the way in the 11. She's running a borrowed street stock motor while her late model motor gets built. She's running a borrowed street stock motor to pass the time until she gets her actual motor finished in that number 11 car. As Haley Constance leads the way in the 78. Here comes to the inside Evan Getz, the 22. Swept it at Hermiston last time this series was in action, and a big race coming up for these cars next week at State Line Speedway. Big invite race.
Of course, it was Evan Getz that won their heat race here tonight earlier, taking a bead on our leader and trying to chase down Danica Dart. We should mention 3 ladies in our main event tonight.
Yeah, versus Evan in the 22 as Getz gets the race lead, though, in the number 22. Fastest lap of the race for that number 22 of Evan Getz. Looking for win number 4 on the season. A win at State Line, 2 at Hermiston, and looking to complete it here at Wenatchee, which is his home track.
A little spark coming off the back of Danica Dart's car last few times around. On those corners, she's scraping. Meanwhile, Getz extending the lead.
Not there this time, so the situation has corrected itself on the number 11 of Danica Dart. Kate Moran, you see her back there kind of hanging out, just riding in the catbird seat in case something goes wrong with one of the cars in front of her. Getz leading, Dart second, Constance third, Moran fourth. Evan Getz pulling away as we're 7 down, 18 to go.
We know we got a lot of folks up in Okanagan that are watching here tonight. Normally it's ladies first, but tonight it is the boy in the field. Evan Getz leading our way here in the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models.
Big lead for for Evan Getz, multi-time Bando champion here at this racetrack. Never lost a Bandalero race that he competed in at this racetrack. Incredible stat for Evan Getz. And has opened up about a straightaway lead now over Danica Dart as you see the battle between Moran and Constance on your screen right now. That's for third and the final spot on the podium. Closing in on halfway now, about 2 laps from the halfway mark. And it's actually going to be this time. They're going to give it to lap 12. So Evan gets the cross flags halfway. And he has opened up a big lead over second place Danica Dart.
Haley Constance in the battle right now. Behind her, trying to catch her, is Caden Moran. And that battle for third place, but Evan Getz almost a straightaway lead.
Moran coming up, putting pressure on the 78 of Constance there. Has to check up, though. See on the billboard, 13 laps to go as Evan Getz continues to stretch it. Look out, there goes Caden Moran.
We saw that earlier today.
Caution.
Where we had Caden Moran finding some trouble. It was mostly in turn 1 where she was having some problems. But this time coming out of turn 2, looked like she hooked that front left tire and spun around. Looks like the car is okay and she's got it back going again. And she'll take up her spot at the back of the pack.
Tough break for Caden Moran, but you get that nose just under the apron, and that thing's just going to snap around on you because of the difference of banking. It's just going to whip around on you. So tough break there for Caden Moran.
What this does is open a door possibly for Danica Dart as they'll close the field again, but it looks like Evan Getz has the better race car here tonight.
Getz has been so strong all year long. Remember, he finished second in that race to Haley Constance here at Wenatchee, and could have been in the race lead, but had the contact after the fact that took him out of the race there as Constance continues to try to track it down and get third. She's looking for win number 2 on the season. Danica Dart right on the bumper of Getz saying, I'm here, knock, knock, and Getz saying, okay. As he drives off into turn number 1, opening the lead up once again. Oh, Moran taking a peek inside of Constance. She is still on the lead lap, so no worries there. She's going to make the full send into turn 3 and get it. Kate Moran third. 13 years old. I believe Haley's 15, if I'm correct. And Haley's going to come back after her in the 78.
Evan Getz through 15 laps, 10 to go here in this main event for the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. Extends his lead up the backstretch. Second place is Danica Dart, but the battle right now for third, just taken over by Caden Moran, but not giving up is Haley Constance.
Amazing stat of the night. The youngest driver in the field is the race leader, Evan Getz. He's 12 years old, and he is pulling away, looking for win number 4 on the season.
The laps wind down here. Evan Getz continues to extend his lead up the backstretch as he comes into turn 3 and 4, and he's got a good line and a good car here tonight.
7 laps to go. Evan Getz just ran the fastest lap of the race right there on lap number 7. Shows you how strong this 22 car is. Faster as it goes on. Good battle back here between the 3 young ladies, Danica Dart, Caden Moran, and Haley Constance. There you see Constance going through turn 1. Winner back here on July 11th trying to get up there, but 5 to go for Evan Getz, who has been so strong all day.
Getting a little loose coming off of turn 4 is Danica Dart, but she's still able to hang on to second place. Right behind her, the battle for third, Caden Moran and Haley Constance.
Constance still hanging back there. Moran doing a good job recovering from that spin, shaking it off. And that's what you got to do when you have something like that. You're still learning the car. You got to shake it off real quick.
Oh, Haley Constance is going to spin and lock it up off of turn 2.
And we will go caution.
With 4 laps to go.
Haley Constance trying to get it going. Winner back on July 11th right here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval in a race that was televised on NCWLIFE. Constance, unfortunately tonight not going that same way. As
I think with that slope right there, she's hung up on the front end.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. And now some overheating beginning to happen there on the 78. She may be high centered there, may have to get some assistance off the little berm there.
Yeah, she's hung up right on the edge of the grass. Just on that front left bottom of the spoiler, if you will.
And overheating as well on the 78.
Yeah.
Gets it rolling though, so she is able to get it going.
Just as the push truck comes out to maybe give her a little help, she says, nope, I got it.
Probably had her father, Joe, up in the radio coaching her on how to get out of that situation. Joe, of course, a former Big 5 late model champion at this racetrack, and he drove the Joe's Racing Products 78 for many years, now turning the keys over to his daughter, Haley. And Joe actually drove this car in the last Jerry's Awesome Bike Pro late model race. Don't think that's the case tonight, though.
Well, meanwhile, it's going to be a sprint to the finish. 4 laps to go here for Evan Getz. And right there, pushing him literally from behind is Danica Dart as she puts her nose into the tail feathers of Mr. Getz and says, hello, Mr. Okanagan. I am here. I'm from Ephrata, and I'm going to push you.
And I am going to put pressure on, but Evan Getz is going to have control of the restart. Now Kaden Moran getting up on Danica Dart. Here we go. Little mind games with the junior lates. Love it as we go green.
Evan Getz clear through turn 2. Danica Dart, second place. Trying to close the gap here with just 3 more laps to go.
Getz leading the way, pulling away now from Danica Dart in the 11 as Moran put pressure on for second. Haley Constance lurking back there in case something happens. And we know things can happen at any point on the racetrack. There was the gap. Back to Evan Getz, 2 to go. It's Evan Getz pulling away once again. Tires squealing as they go through 1 and 2. Moran's got to run.
Moran coming down on the inside of Danica Dart, coming off of turn 4, and she will take over second place. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go. Evan Getz leading the way, but Moran gets second. Watch the crossover from Dart. Haley Constance lurking there as well. Win number 4 on the season is going to go to Evan Getz in the 22. It's a race for second, and it's going to be Kaden Moran holding on. Danica Dart rounds out the podium.
All right, Greg is going to head down to the trackside and talk with our winner here, Evan Getz, who posted another victory at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, the 12-year-old out of Okanagan. Congratulations. I can almost put my head out the window here at WVSO and hear the cheers raining down from the Okanagan Valley right now for that youngster driving number 22, Evan Getz. Congratulations. Second place to Kaden Moran out of the Tri-Cities in Kennewick. She is 14 years of age. And third place goes to Haley Constance from Snohomish, representing the west side, finishing third here this evening, although they've got Danica Dart there third. So I guess Danica Dart is going to be our third place finisher. Looking up at the scoreboard, that's how they have it. So 1 is 22 Evan Getz, 2 is the 05 car of Kaden Moran, and 3 is Danica Dart in the number 11. So Craig is down there on the trackside as he gets ready to talk to the racers once they clear their vehicles.
All right, out of the car, win number 4 on the season for the number 22 out of Okanagan, Evan Getz. And Evan, we're making this a habit, man. Win number 4 on the season for you here. You finally got the late model win at your home track.
Yeah, the car felt really good tonight, and I hope it stays like that.
Well, it was hooked up all night. You have been the dominant car in the series. 4 wins on the season, and you now have one at all 3 tracks that the series goes to. So how does it feel being able to run one of these cars like this?
It feels really good, and I hope I can race with the Pro Lates next year or maybe in 2 years.
All right, he's called his shot. He wants a shot at the Pro Lates. Evan, who you want to thank?
North Valley Mechanical, D&D Auto Body, my dad, Rod Rubbles, and everybody that came to watch me this weekend.
That's number 22, Evan Getz, win number 4 on the season. And we go over to our second place driver, last year's Bandalero champion at Hermiston Raceway, Kaden Moran. And Kaden, second place here tonight, fighting back after the spin out there. You fight back for second.
Yeah, I was really pleased with this race. I had a lot of fun.
Well, tell us about the battle between Haley and Danica real quick, as you got past one and then you got past the other right there in the last stages.
So I've really just been working on trying to be more patient with the passes and I think it finally paid off in this race.
All right, you got a second place here tonight. Who do you want to thank on the 05?
All my sponsors, McCurley, Twin City Metals, Mahaffey, Matthews Dental, and American Concrete and Construction. And we raced this race for my grandma Debbie.
All right, that's the second place for the 05 of Caden Moran. And rounding it out in third, up in second, and leading the way early is Danica Dart in the 11. And Danica, quite the race here between you, Evan, Caden, Haley. You guys were all battling it out throughout the field. And how does it feel to be driving these cars like this?
Yeah, I love it. It's really fun. And it was a lot of competition here today.
Danica, you made the step up from quarter midgets to the late models and spent some time in the bando, but your main background is quarter midgets. So tell us about the transition from that to this.
Just a lot more power and bigger.
All right, third place here tonight. Who do you want to thank?
I would like to thank Pioneer Performances, Lodi Racing, everybody who has been helping me, and my parents.
Third place for the number 11, Danica Dart. 2 races down here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Coming up next, I believe we've got the Dixie and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars getting set for their race.
And that is definitely the case there, Craig. Thank you very much. And we will take a break here as we wrap up the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. Again, the winner tonight goes to Evan Getz out of Okanagan, second to Caden Moran out of Kennewick, and Ephrata's Danica Dart, third place here in the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models. Back with the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Car main event next here on Wenatchee Valley Super Oval night here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
Thanks for joining us for live coverage of Les Schwab Night here on Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE channel here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Taking to the track right now, we've got our Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. Out in front is the yellow and orange striped car of Dennis Kennedy, number 55. The 33 car is Kobe Holiday out of Wenatchee. I should say Dennis from East Wenatchee. The 71 is Cameron Doyle. Doyle is coming to us out of East Wenatchee, so he didn't have far to go. 25 car is RT Greiner, also from East Wenatchee. The 12 car is that of Luke Schall from Wenatchee. The first of our 2 7 cars here tonight is Garrett Huffines out of Sela. Number 46, that sharp-looking Camaro is Terry Osborne from East Wenatchee. The other 7 car is Mike Sims, the mostly red car with the yellow numbering. That is Mike Sims out of East Wenatchee. The 42 car is that of Neil Nelson from Quincy. And at the back of the pack, watch out for number 14, Seth Frazier from East Wenatchee.
Frazier, 2 main event wins on the season in the number 14. Going to start 10th here on this one. Shotgun on the field, 1 to go for Jason Wilson in the flag stand. Dennis Kennedy going to lead him to green here in this 30-lap main event for the Dixie and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. 2 more main events to go after this one. We've got the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners and the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models still to come, but it's time for the Dixie and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, and it's so good to see this class coming back in the car count department as we are going green. 10 cars for 30 laps racing here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Problems right out of the gate for RT Griner in the 25.
Meanwhile, Dennis Kennedy leads the way. Cameron Doyle right behind him. And taking a look inside of Cameron is Garrett Huffines.
Huffines has been wanting to drive this thing for quite a while. It's his brother Dylan's car. Younger brother Dylan drove this car a little bit last year. And not this car, but his other car finished third at this racetrack in the Spring Sizzler last year. Garrett finally getting a chance to wheel it here tonight. Looking pretty sporty here so far in the number 7. Scott Osborne behind him.
Doyle goes outside. Inside of him, taking over is Huffines. Meanwhile, Dennis Kennedy still leading the pack as they head up to turns 3 and 4 here at WVSO.
Garrett Huffines in the number 7 in second. Dennis Kennedy leading the way. 3 down, 27 to go. Kennedy's led all 3. Don't look now. Here comes at 7 of Huffines peeking low. And also, knock, knock. Look who's in 4th. Seth Frazier, the 14.
I was just going to say, watch that 14 car. Dennis Kennedy, meanwhile, outside of him. Huffines trying to take over the lead as they head into turn 1 and 2.
3 wide as Osborne goes to the inside. It doesn't work.
Osborne spins out. We will no yellow yet. There's waiting to see if
yellow
Osborne can get going. He finally does, but a little too late for the liking of Jason Wilson, our flagger. So they go yellow here after just 4 laps.
Tough one there for Terry Osborne. Going for the lead on the inside, and it just doesn't work out for him.
Sometimes risk reward, but not that time for Terry Osborne. And how about Seth Frazier? He started in the back of the pack. He's already up to 2nd place.
I think he's going back to 3rd here, though, as I believe they're going to put the 55 of Kennedy back to the race lead. That is the scorer's official's decision. That's not our decision. But going back to the last completed lap, the only thing that would hinder that is if Kennedy was determined to be involved in that, in which case he'd go to the back. So waiting for the scorer's results on that.
I think he was involved, only that he was the middle of that sandwich that was going on as they went 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, we'll see what the scorers decide here. Waiting for word on that.
Now they still have, the scoreboard says the 55 car in front. The 7 car 2nd and 14 3rd.
4 laps complete, 26 to go here. Huffines in the 7, currently out in front. However, we're waiting on scoring to determine if the 55 of Kennedy will go back to the lead.
So the scorers tower is next to us here up top at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We can see them getting through the headsets, talking to race officials.
Yep, here comes Kennedy back up the inside, and he slowed down. Thought that we were going to see, and they're waving him up to the front. Saw the official there on the backstretch. So yes, Dennis Kennedy is going to re-inherit the race lead.
Kennedy certainly has some fast company right behind him with Huffines and Frazier.
And Garrett Huffines has been so strong in late models the last few years. We've never seen him in a hobby stock or a Thunder car or whatever they're known as at your local racetrack, but never seen him in one of these. But finally getting to wheel it tonight. His brother Dylan drives this car. Garrett, a very successful late model driver in his own right. 2 pro late model championships, including a win in the biggest pro late model race of the year last year, the Fall Classic.
Of course, here at this track at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, having the name Garrett is a pretty good name to have.
Absolutely, and he's got another guy named Garrett in the stands watching him tonight.
Garrett Evans up here watching everything go on as we go green flag again here in the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Undercar main event.
Garrett Evans overseeing the action as Garrett Huffines to the outside of Kennedy. Going for the lead here. Gonna get the spot. Huffines with the lead, but for how long? Because here comes his cousin's old car with Seth Frazier behind the wheel now.
Frazier had to drop back a little bit because he had to go around Dennis Kennedy. Kennedy will drop back to 3rd. Cameron Doyle, meanwhile, in 4th place.
Doyle lurking. Cameron Doyle has been very strong in these cars the last couple of years, really beginning to find something here. He's had some help from Evans Racing Enterprises over the last few weeks. He gets up on the back bumper of Mitchell, and boy, that's an ERE and a Mitchell Racing entry right there, technically. So that's an old-time battle. The Evans-Mitchell rivalry, maybe finding some new life with a couple different drivers here.
Meanwhile, you got a battle for 1st place. Seth Frazier going to go outside and take a peek around turn 3 and 4. But on the inside, it is Huffines.
A couple iRacing boys going at it right now. Garrett Huffines and Seth Frazier both racing the iRacing.com Northwest Tour. Frazier actually won the championship in that one.
Back of the pack, meanwhile, Cameron Doyle moves into third, and here comes some contact between Kennedy and the car of Nelson.
And Mike Sims is going to be there as well in the 7.5 back up front. Frazier on the outside of Huffines. Frazier there. Here comes Garrett back to the inside of the 7.
Looks like Frazier might have it off of the turn 4. He will lead it.
Spoke with Frazier before the race, and he was very excited about the prospect to race against Garrett Huffines, and here it is. They're battling it out right now. Great battle going on behind them for third as well. 2 great battles to watch right now, as this is actually for fourth, as Kennedy and Nelson getting again. Sims peeking low. Up front, Frazier has cleared Huffines, so this is the side-by-side battle right now, as Sims now to the outside of Kennedy, as now Huffines goes back to work on Frazier once again.
Meanwhile, it is Seth Frazier in front, Huffines in second. Cameron Doyle used the advantage of cars touching back behind him to get a little distance for himself. He's all alone in third place.
Doyle hanging out there. New ERE entry, I guess you can call it, as contact between Sims and Nelson. This is for fourth on your screen right now. Kennedy hanging back there, trying to break into the top 5 after leading much of the early stages. Colby Holiday sliding up the track. RT Griner made it back out there in the 25. Luke Shaw hanging in there. Haven't mentioned him in the main event. He's riding in 7th right now with the 12.
Dennis Kennedy continues to drop back. Got a little love nudge from behind by Luke Shaw. Meanwhile, side-by-side racing for fourth place.
Mike Sims inside of Neil Nelson. Give it to Sims. The work to do to try to reel in Cameron Doyle, and just 15 laps to do it halfway. That last time by is Frazier leading. Huffines second. Can Sims get up to Doyle?
Just a breath of difference between Seth Frazier, your leader, and Garrett Huffines in second place. Cameron Doyle in third, but trying to track him down. Look out, here comes the 7 car
of Sims. Nelson has cleared Kennedy and is able to come back and try to
this side by side.
This is great racing right here between Kennedy and Shaw. That's Kennedy inside, Shaw outside. Kennedy led the first 7 or so laps before Garrett Huffines was able to get around him, and now Griner, who's a couple laps down, 5 laps down, is the number 25 of Griner. There's your leaders right there, Seth Frazier and Garrett Huffines. Not letting them get away is Garrett Huffines in the 7.
It's a 30-lap main event for the Dixie Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. You've got your leader, Seth Frazier. Right behind him is the car of Garrett Huffines, and they will have some lap traffic that they will have to negotiate before this one's all said and done.
They're coming up on Colby Holiday. He'll be the first one in line. Then is Dennis Kennedy in the 55. RT Griner already laps down, just trying to make his way back up and pass some cars right now and build some momentum moving into the next race. Frazier, though, still pulling away in the 14. Huffines in the 2nd spot. Sims is beginning to close in on Doyle a little bit.
That'll be your battle here. It will be third place. Cameron Doyle has had it for several laps all by himself, but he's got some company that will join him shortly. Meanwhile, Seth Frazier going to come up on some lap traffic on this time around.
Yeah, he's closing in on Holiday and Kennedy. That is the battle for position in front of him. The blue and the yellow cars right there. That's the battle for 7th as Frazier coming up. Garrett Huffines thinking, hey, maybe something will happen. Oh, something almost did happen there. Holiday and Kennedy. Frazier had to back out of it. That allows Garrett to close in just a little bit. Remember, Garrett's cousin Jason ran that car that Frazier's driving to a win in both the Fall Classic and the Apple Cup last year in this division.
Seth Frazier able to get himself around that lap traffic. Good job by him. Meanwhile, Huffines, he has to also negotiate past a couple of cars to try to get back closer to second place.
He comes outside. Huffines gets it around, and the battle beginning to brew for third. Sims has caught Doyle. He's on the bumper now, going to the 1.
4 laps to go here for Seth Frazier. Meanwhile, that battle for third place. Cameron Doyle right sniffing on his bumper as Mike Sims as they come off of turn 4.
Down the front stretch, Doyle and and Sims. You're watching Shaw and Griner. They're doing out. There's your battle for third between the 71 Doyle, the 7.5 of Sims. Closing stage, just 2 laps to go. As Frazier looking to seal it up for win number 3 on the season. But this is the battle right here. Everyone's watching. It's for third between Doyle and Sims. White flag in the air for Seth Frazier, the 14.
I think Sims had to drop back a little bit because he came up and almost made contact with Cameron Doyle off of turn 1. Closes that gap, 1 lap to go in that battle for third place.
He's going to hold him off through 3 and 4. Win number 3 on the season. Seth Frazier still undefeated in main event action. Wins at Wenatchee. Garrett Huffine second. Contact! And around goes Doyle!
Oh, Doyle goes around, and third place is going to go to Mike Sims. Holy cow.
And that is going to be an interesting call on the tower to see what the call is there. You see Cameron Doyle up in the 3rd spot going around. Sims going straight to the pits. So we will see
how they figure that one out. Seth Frazier, meanwhile, is Greg's going to grab the wireless microphone and head down to the trackside. Seth Frazier in that 14 car, very familiar with the checkered flag here at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, a winner earlier this year in a race we had here on NCWLIFE channel. As second place will be Garrett Huffines, and they will say Mike Sims in third place as he comes back out onto the track. So the racers will remove their helmets and unstrap and crawl out, and Greg Rentz will be down there to talk to our 3 finishers here in our, well, let's see, we've got 2 more classes to go here in our racing tonight at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. We've got our camera folks down there as well on a gorgeous night to look at. Still winds awfully brisk here this evening at WVSO, and the temperatures have dropped quite a bit as well here this evening. Waiting on Seth Frazier to unstrap and crawl out. Seth was second in the heat, first in the main here at WVSO back on June 27th. He was third in the heat, first in the main on July 11th.
He's taking the safety gear off, putting the new safety gear on, the masks. He's out of the car for the 3rd time this season, the main event winner, Seth Frazier in the 14.
Now, Seth gave Greg a little hard time last time, saying that he was single. So now Greg's been trying to figure out some retribution here.
Well, Seth, another win for you. That makes 3 on the year, but this one came at the price of a big battle there with Garrett Huffines.
Well, yeah, it was a fun race. You know, Garrett's one of the best upcoming drivers in Northwest and one of the best pro late model drivers around, so it was fun getting into battle against him, and it was a good night of racing.
Seth, another win for you. That makes 3 on the season, and this car really seems to treat you well.
Yeah, it's a really good car. It was, you know, built by some of the best guys that build race cars, and should have a good rest of the year.
All right, Seth, win number 3 on the season, undefeated in the main event. Who do you want to thank?
I just need to thank my Uncle Willard for allowing me to drive his car and put me out there, and all my crew for coming out and helping. And I'd like to also say, you know, it's we lost one of our really good friends in the Northwest this week, J.C. Wofford, so this one's for him.
Winner, Seth Frazier, dedicating it to J.C. Wofford. And another driver racing in memory of J.C. Wofford tonight, Garrett Huffines in the number 7. And Garrett, first time driving a hobby stock / Thunder car here, and it looked pretty good out there.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit harder. The car handled pretty good, better than I expected for it being a Camaro.
And Garrett, you kind of booted your brother out of the seat to drive this thing tonight. How much convincing did that take?
Not much. I just told him I was going to take him out back and whip his butt.
Hey, he gets it done. Well, Garrett, first time in a hobby stock here at this track. You've had some success at this track, but you got it done here tonight, the 2nd.
Yeah, I was just trying to give Seth a hard time, make him work for it a little bit. It was fun. I just wish the cars just turned a little bit better, and I think we could have ran with him and gave him a run for his money.
Well, maybe we'll have to get you back here for another one here in the near future. But Garrett, a 2nd place tonight here in your Thunder car debut. Who you want to thank?
I want to thank Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Mountain Dew for sponsoring the junior late models. It's cool that they support them, and I want to thank Garrett Evans for helping me with the body panels to get my car ready. And I want to just shout out to J.C. Wofford. He helped me my whole career, and without him, none of this would be possible. He helped me all the way from quarter midgets to late models. He helped me advice, money-wise. He was always a great friend, biggest smile.
Emotional down here on the front stretch. Garrett Huffines, second place. And coming home with a third place is Mike Sims. And Mike battling it out there at the end with Cameron Doyle. And what happened there coming to the checkered?
I tapped him a little bit. My fault.
All right, well, Mike, a good run for you, slicing your way through traffic there. And it was a good battle between you and Doyle throughout the course of the race, but you had to make your way through a lot of traffic there just to even get up there. So nice job slicing through traffic. How was it driving for you?
It drove pretty good, but the start was something else. I didn't know what was going on up front there, but I had to go all the way to the back and then chase down everybody.
Well, he made his way through the field. Third place here tonight, another podium. 2 starts, 2 podiums. Who do you want to thank?
Harana Estates Winery, Thanks Mill, Gorilla Plumbing and Excavation, Trucker and X, and my wife. And that's it.
That's third place. Mike Sims, top 3, going to get their pictures taken with Doris Photography, the official track photographer here at Wenatchee. And then we're going to move into our Plumb Perfect Roadrunner main event.
All right, there you go. Greg Rentz, thank you very much. Back up here in the booth and joined by Jeremy Anders, our track manager at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. A long night for you again here, sir, but it's been some great racing once we finally got to racing.
Yeah, I was telling you when I walked in here, when I showed up tonight, my shoes were black and my hands were white. And as we're done here, my shoes turned to white and my hands have turned to black. I was, lucky enough, our great partners at Jerry's Osplay had brought some more Speedy Dry to us on a delivery on Friday. We were down to like our last 6 bags. Wow. We've lost I think we've had 5 oil downs today, which we were talking about the first 2 weeks. It's how it goes in racing. Sometimes it happens. Thanks to all of our amazing staff to get it cleaned up out here. But hey, once the racing gets going, it's pretty good racing action. So I'm excited about it. And we got 2 more races coming up here. 2 big fields of cars. We got 15. I think we're down to 14 Roadrunners and about 13 junior or pro late models. So we're excited about that.
Well, this, again, happy to team up with WVSO here on the NCWLIFE channel and bring you the racing when we can't have fans here. We still have, 3 more races to go after tonight?
Yeah, August 22nd, we're going to have, we just announced it this morning in the pit meet, we're actually going to do a joint Yakima hobby stock race with the Wenatchee Valley Thunder Cars, with the Dixie Air Thunder Cars, and a joint race there. Then we have the Northwest Focus Midgets coming back on that date, as well as the Roadrunners, the Northwest Pro 4 trucks, and more. So it should be a really good one.
And we're looking forward to that. Also, there's an opportunity, a unique opportunity coming up in late September for sponsorship of laps in the final race of the season. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we're having the Northwest Super Late Model Series here for the Neil Newberry 125, our premier event here. One of the 2 premier Super Late Model races we do here. It's a great one to come watch. But you can sponsor a lap for $50. We're going to recognize them here on the broadcast, recognize them out there as well. And it helps support that race. Normally we would have a big purse to put up, but we can't afford to do that with the track being closed. So with the support of those lap sponsors, I think we have 60 of the 125 laps sponsored so far. We're able to take that money and put it into the purse of the drivers. And right now we're looking at a field of 20 to 25 late models.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Jeremy, again, thanks for having us out here again, and glad we can get the racing at least somehow to the folks out there, even though they can't be here in person.
And I want to say one thing. If you have a chance to, if you're on the NCWLIFE feed or the Super Bowl feed, and you could comment and post where you're watching from. That's a cool thing I like to go through and through and where you're watching from. And I want to say thank you to you guys for all your hard work, and I'm ready for some more racing now.
Absolutely. We've got racing on the track ready to go here as Greg's going to put the headset on and get ready for our main event for the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. I'll set it up here. Inside on row 1 is the number 20 car is Elijah Pennington out of Tacoma. Outside of him in the 4, the lime green number 4, Alberto Navarrete of East Wenatchee. Inside on the 2nd row, again, the car that has got the numbers on the outside of it, which doesn't help me when they're on the far side away from us.
That's 44.
Okay, that's 44.
That's, 44, Colton Fisher.
Colton Fisher. On the outside of him, on his right door, is the number 25 car or 26 car? 26, there we go, is Matt Lawson. The 14 car is that of Mason Haygood. Outside of him, the number 24 car is James Norman. On row number 4, inside is the 33 car of Brandon Knuff, a winner earlier tonight. Outside of him, watch out for the speedy Sean Ziske of Stanfield, Oregon in the number 9 car. 22 car behind is Emily Mackin out of Moses Lake, and relation of hers, Jamie Mackin, on the outside of her. And the final row here tonight as we go green will be the car 32, Jared Ingram, and outside of him is Carlin Coker.
Remember the breakout rule in effect here. No laps allowed quicker than the 16.750. We had a breakout in both heat races, so we'll see what happens here in that regard moving forward. Off turn 4, lap number 1, close at the line, and it was Navarrete leading the way on lap number 1.
So Alberto Navarrete looking for his first win in a main event. His first race ever was back on June 27th, the race we had here live on NCW Live channel.
Still leading the way, leads lap number 2. And so far, no one really in danger of that 16.7 bracket. Their fastest on the track is Jared Ingram, the 32.
Watch Matt Lawson dipping inside, going to take over second place here.
He's got it, gets around Elijah Pennington and James Norman up there in third.
Oh, and then he spins a little sideways, but he's able to hold on to it.
Nice save.
Wow.
Navarrete, the fastest car on the track now. And the number 4, the race leader, has a good battle for second here between the 26 and the 24.
Lawson and Norman battling for seconds. Also side by side, we got a battle for third.
Pennington and Fisher. Here comes Jared Ingram as well. That's the car that Jay Evans drove several times. Jared Ingram making his debut tonight. Battle for second between Lawson and Norman continues at the line. And it was Norman that time on the outside. Lap traffic ahead now. The race leader, Alberto Navarrete, taking it in the number 4. Here comes Lawson and Norman splitting them. Jared Ingram up there in the 4th spot. Elijah Pennington trying to get around as they all try to get around the lap traffic of Emily Mackin.
Tight quarters right there, but they all negotiate fine. Alberto Navarrete, meanwhile, up the backstretch, extending his lead. Second place trying to chase him down is James Norman.
Still no one flirting with the breakout yet. No one in the 16s yet in this main event. Fastest car on track was the 4 of Alberto Navarrete. He has the fastest lap of the race of 17.120. As the field snaking their way through, and some of the heavy hitters in this series not here tonight. Kyle Lahr was up there near the front. He had motor issues. John Doyle had motor issues. We're sitting pretty for perhaps a surprise winner here tonight.
Navarrete, meanwhile, having to get it underneath the lap traffic, and that allows an opportunity for James Norman to creep up and say hello from behind.
A couple of drivers went in the 16s now. Norman, the 24, Ingram, the 32, both 16.9s. Not in breakout yet, but they are beginning to get down a little bit there.
Navarrete doing a good job of getting around Mackin. Norman right behind, knocking on the door.
Navarrete inside goes Norman. They touch. Still touching there through turn 3. Contact all the way through turns 3 and 4. Norman inside, Navarrete outside. And give it to Norman, the Yakima driver. Halfway this time.
So Alberto Navarrete drops back. Norman takes over the lead. Now the battle for second place is dipping inside is Matt Lawson.
Jared Ingram hanging back there in third. Brandon Knopf in the 5th place. Fisher, Pennington, Haygood up there as well. Up front, though, it is all Alberto Navarrete still, but lead is heating up between him and Matt Lawson, and Jared Ingram closing in as well. And here he comes for second. Whoa, in front of the leaders, Mackin and Coker get together. They all split the gap, and that's going to be the big benefactor for Ingram as he gets second.
No, that's third place. Your lead car is 24 out in front.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot Norman got around and lost track there.
So Alberto Navarrete having a look behind him here as look out. Here comes the familiar 32, but it's Jared Ingram behind the wheel instead of Jay Evans as we normally see in the cow car. Look out, went a little sideways.
And it's even missing the horns that the cow car has had for years and years. Here comes Lawson back to the inside. There's your race leader, Josh Norman, in the 24. Well, how many times have we seen that 24 car leading the way here in a circle track race? Paying tribute to Jeff Gordon, and we've seen that scheme win many races. Here comes second.
Ingram inside of Navarrete will take over second place. Trying to duck in behind and follow the leader is Matt Lawson.
Using the 52 of Mackin as a pick.
So they stretch it out going up the backstretch. We'll see if Alberto Navarrete can use advantage.
Emily Mackin in the 22 almost gets into the 26 there.
Kind of a rolling block out there for the racers. Meanwhile, nearly a quarter lead now for your leader, James Norman out of Yakima.
Emily Mackin's going to pull into the pits here as James Norman picking him up and putting him down. Just 6 laps to go.
We got a battle for second place going on between Ingram and the car of Matt Lawson. Meanwhile, a good battle for fourth as well.
Yeah, Navarrete and Knopf going at it right behind him here.
Knopf crosses over and will take over fourth place.
A little bit of a bump there.
Or third, I should say.
Does he have enough time to get up on the podium? Does the 33. Josh Norman all by himself in the 24th. That's the battle for the podium spot right there, 26 and 33. Does Brandon have enough time? Norman slicing through lap traffic. Knopf has caught Lawson going high. Looking for third and a spot on the podium and a trophy. 3 to go, 2 at the line for Josh Norman, or James Norman, excuse me. Been saying Josh, I don't know how long. Black flag to somebody. Not sure who it was.
Knopf gets in door to door with Lawson.
White flag coming out. James Norman gets the white flag.
One more time around.
Brandon gets it. Here comes Ingram.
Knopf heading up on some lap traffic here.
Ziski in the 9. Ziski in the 9. Oh, watch out. Here comes Lawson back on the outside. Norman gets the win. It's a drag race for third. And Brandon Knopf's going to hold on.
Some fancy driving there to get away from traffic. But congratulations to James Norman. A win in the main event here tonight for the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. Second place, having to drive a long way to get there, was Jared Ingram in the 32 car. The question is about third place, and it looked to us like it was Matt Lawson. That's who's up on the scoreboard right now as a third place finisher. So we'll wait and see who comes out of the pits to line up here for. What's that? Oh, Knopf broke out. Oh, well, okay. That was the conversation that was going on. So we will send Greg down trackside as they'll figure out who our third place finisher is. I don't know if we'll have somebody come out for the interview portion of it or not. But the checkered flag and the first place trophy in the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners will go to James Norman out of Yakima. And here comes our third place finisher out of the pit area. Matt Lawson will come around and get a chance to get a little highlight here.
Roadrunner main event, James Norman. James bringing this thing out from Yakima, and boy, it looked fast all day.
Oh, it was fast. It's fast, and I'd like to thank Myra Z and a bad thing with JC Wofford, and we're here for you guys, so we're here.
James, first time here at Wenatchee. How do you like it?
Oh, it's fun. I'm coming back for sure, so we'll be here.
Look for that 24 to come back. Your Plumb Perfect Roadrunner winner, James Norman. Out of the car is Jared Ingram, and Jared, first time driving this car, and here you are, second place. Not a bad debut for you.
Yeah, not bad for starting in the back. I'd like to thank my brother for letting me race the car today, mom and dad, Megan and my kids, Natalie, Hannah, and Emma for supporting me today, and the pit crew in the back. And thank you, Plumb Perfect, for letting us sponsor the race.
Jared, you going to be back in the car again soon?
Yeah, if I get offered. My brother already said race the next race, so hopefully I'll be up here.
At second place, Jared Ingram. And after the breakout rule, it's determined that third place is to number 26, Matt Lawson. And Matt, you were battling it out with Jared. You had stuff with Alberto, Brandon at the end. That was such a fun battle watching.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
All right, Matt, I believe this is your first time here too. What'd you think of the track?
It's a lot different than Evergreen. a lot steeper banks. Takes a little bit to get used to, but once I did, I think I got going a little bit.
All right, third place for you here tonight for first race here at Wenatchee. Will you be back?
Absolutely.
All right, who do you want to thank?
My wife and Ed for coming out and helping me out today, and then obviously Lawson & Sons and Jet City for paying the car. They've done a lot to help me.
All right, that's third place. Matt Lawson. 4 down, 1 to go, and it's the big one, race fans. 75 laps, 12 Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models. Main event up next.
All right, there you go, Greg. The Rentz giving us the latest there from the Plumb Perfect Roadrunners. First place to James Norman, second to Jared Ingram, and third to Matt Lawson. We will have our final main event coming up next here as we come to you live from Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Les Schwab Night next here on NCWLIFE Channel.
From the ocean to the mountains to the forest in between, vacation time can be a fun time. But not if your car breaks down. Call Global Car Care today. Have a service approved over $150 on your vehicle, and Global Car Care will donate an oil change service to one of our local heroes at Confluence Health. Look for more incentives online. Global Car Care cares about their community.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Well, here we go, the grand finale of the night at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. 75-lap main event for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models. Out in front, you've got the 97 car of Cameron Bruckman. Right behind him is the 3 car of Andy Beeman. Then number 6 is Gary Holmad. 22 is Jake Woods out of Yakima. Then you've got Michael Knudsen in the 51 car. He's behind him is the 68 of Bart Hector. The 63 car is that of Gary Shales. The 16 is Glenn Knudsen. The 40 car is Steve Floyd. Behind Steve, there's Andy Beeman, number 3. 33 is that of Chad Holliday, and 47 is Steve Blankenship.
Floyd coming to a stop up there. Just getting a couple extra things shaken out there and make sure everything's working. 12 cars on deck here. And Glenn Knudsen, his Northwest streak came to an end, but his Wenatchee streak still intact. 4 straight wins at this racetrack for Glenn Knudsen entering tonight. Now can you make it 5?
You see the green flag going out right now. Explain what's happening here.
This is a hot lap, a little warm up, get some heat in the tires. Just going out, get some heat in the tires, run a few laps at race pace, not being scored right now for the 75 lap main event. This is just to help get the heat in the tires.
And those in the Wenatchee Valley can most certainly hear the roaring of the engines from up on Fancher Heights tonight as we are to our final main event of the evening with the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models.
All right, Eric, we've been racing it all night. It all comes down to this. 12 cars strong and quite a stout field tonight. If you're going against Glenn Knudsen, Glenn's clearly the favorite, 4 wins in a row. But if you were to have to pick someone who you thought is going to have a shot to end the streak tonight, who do you think?
You know, Michael Knudsen has had success here on this track. Had it not been for a fender bender between he and another car several races ago, he would have been able to challenge his brother. So I would go with the other Knudsen possibly here tonight.
You're going Mike Knudsen, and I'm standing by my pick. I said back before qualifying even happened, you got to keep your eyes on that 33 car on your screen right there. Chad Holliday, the 33 2016 series champion, one of the most dominant late model drivers in history here, back behind the wheel of, by the way, a very successful East Coast car, that 33 car is. I'm going with Holliday if I'm going to go against Glenn Knudsen. I think it's going to be the 33 of Holliday.
Well, Holliday stopped momentarily on the backstretch, but now gets going again as they'll line them up here for this 75-lap main event, and that's something else. 75 laps, a lot can happen.
Long race. All right, here we go. Cameron Brugman inside. On the pole, he's got Brad Morrison to the outside. Gary Homad into number 6. Inside row number 2, Jake Woods right there to his outside. Winner at Yakima a few weeks ago. Mike Knudsen, the 51, you mentioned him. Bart Hector Sr. Bart Jr. not here, he's over in Spokane, but hello Bart, I know he's watching his dad race tonight. Gary Shales, the 63, with Glenn Knudsen starting in 8th. You always got to keep an eye on him. Steve Floyd, that car picked up a win. I believe we got the one to go last time by, so are we going one? No. Not yet, still some debris out there. Chad Holliday, he's pulling over to report something to the official, and he's actually checking over the car. Something amiss on the 33 of
Feel like he's maybe dragging something? As they take a look underneath the far side of the car. He's hollering some instructions to somebody right there.
Checking it over. Keep your eyes on the Yakima boys, of course. Andy Beeman in the 3, Jake Woods the 22. Hopefully we get a Yakima late model race in again this season. Got one in earlier this year, and it was Jake Woods who won that race in the number 22. Andy Beeman, of course, several wins at Yakima over the years.
Well, obviously something wrong with Chad Holliday's car over there.
He's got it rolling. Something to keep an eye on here in the opening stages is what's going on with Chad Holliday. Keep an eye on the 47 as well. Steve Blankenship, remember, he had the issue in qualifying and dripped a lot of oil on the track. They got it fixed, whatever it was, but keep an eye on him. Holliday going into the pits in the 33.
Well, I saw somebody scrambling towards the pit area there, so it might be something that they could possibly fix.
He did not pull into his pit stall. He pulled straight on the pit road, so they're going to try and get something here quickly on the 33. Did not pull into his pit stall, which is typically the signal for, hey, I'm coming right back out. Just hang on, and we're allowing him some time to get that 33 car fixed and get it out there. He's parked right under the Randy's Towing sign in the Smitty's Pancake House. Boy, if you're Cameron Brugman, who you were a teammate to that car in the 97 last year, and a car that won the championship back in 2018, teammate to him that year too. Now you're in the team's main car, and you're starting on the pole for your first race in that. How nervous are you right now if you're Cameron Brugman?
Yeah.
Driving the team's top car on the pole in your first start?
I think you're wiggling your fingers in your driving gloves a little bit extra just to make sure they don't go numb because you're squeezing the steering wheel so tight.
Brad Morrison, of course, up there in the number 4. Gary Homad in the 6. Woods. Bart Hector Sr. Remember, Sr. decided at 11 o'clock this morning to come race. Giving him the stack-up sign. Still no sign of Chad Holliday in the 33.
Can see him over there still behind the pit wall. Looks like we may go one more to green.
Yeah, one to green. So Chad Holliday, unless he gets going right now, is going to miss the start of this race. So down to 11 for now as Brugman going to come through 3 and 4. Field is in his hands. Morrison to his outside, and race fans watching at home as they come down the backstretch, wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness through 3 and 4. It is showtime. We are green. Holliday does indeed miss the green flag as Morrison had the run on the outside there, but here comes Brugman back to the inside. Homad up there. 11 cars roaring down first lap. Give it to Brugman in the engine car.
Brugman inside, but right there outside getting a nose ahead is Morrison.
Brad Morrison in the 4, getting out front.
Bringing Jake Woods with him.
Jake Woods getting moving into number 22. He gets around Brugman. Battle going on for the 4th position right now between Hector and Homad.
It'll be Homad that'll take over 4th place.
Here comes the 51. Away for the 5th spot. He gets around Hector Sr., bringing Glenn with him. Younger brother Glenn beginning his charge up to the field, getting up hello to Bart Sr.
Oh, Glenn had to hop inside the apron there as Hector closed the door on him.
Top 5 beginning to break away here. Morrison has led much of the early stages here. Battle for 3rd between Homad and Brugman. Here comes Mike Knutson. Trying to get after Homad. Knutson gets around Brugman. Meanwhile, Glenn Knutson back to the inside of Hector once again. Hector Sr. trying to hold on. Senior's plan was to run street stocks at Hermiston the rest of the season, but when Hermiston's track closed, he figured, you know what, they might not have too many shots to run this car at Wenatchee this season. I'm going to take one. As Knutson to the inside of it. That's your battle on screen right there, 1668.
There you go. You got Glenn Knutson going inside of Hector.
Trying to clear him. Not quite clear yet. Hector fights back on the outside. And Glenn will clear Hector this time. And Steve
there we go. Jake Woods.
Jake Woods to the lead.
He's going to take over the lead here on lap 11.
Woods got to the inside of Morrison. Got to the lead. Here we go. Top 4 breakaway here. You see Michael Knutson beginning to put pressure on Homad. Third and final spot on the podium. Jake Woods at 22 leading. Morrison 2nd. Homad 3rd. Knutson 4th. Right up on the back bumper. Meanwhile, Glenn Knutson going after Cameron Brugman, the 97.
He's going to take over 5th place by himself. Got a long way to go to catch the leaders, though.
Steve Floyd, Gary Shales have both gotten around Hector. Floyd gets around Brugman as well. So Brugman, pole sitter, led the opening couple laps, falling back now outside the top 5. Hector Sr. to the inside now of Brugman. Watch Jake Woods pull away. Try to pull away at least from Brad Morrison. 2 career wins in the late model for Jake Woods. They both came at Yakima.
Look at this battle for 3rd. Michael Knutson on the outside. Gary Homad inside.
Knutson trying to make the outside work. His brother back there, he's feeling the heat from Floyd right now as Woods trying to get up there. Gets out for 51. Homad right there in the 6th, doing a great job hanging on. Knutson getting right up on the bumper of Homad through turn 3 and 4 that time. Lap number 19.
Homad determined to hold that inside line. Michael Knutson right behind him in 4th place.
Speaking of determined, Brad Morrison is determined to get the lead back as he's coming after Jake Woods now. Morrison led a few laps in this race before Woods got the lead. Here comes Morrison back for the lead in the 4. Not there yet. Good run through the center there. And wow, Brad Morrison with a great run through the center to get the lead back.
Morrison on the inside, Jake Woods on the outside. Look out for Gary Homad there too, taking a peek inside.
Checking in with Glenn.
Oh! Mike Knutson just ran into the back of Gary Homad, just like we saw earlier this year. The hood crumples.
And that's a bigger one than it was last time on the 51. It's much bigger than one back here in June. And this is going to allow Glenn to begin to close in. It's down to 2.2 seconds between Knutson in the 16 and the race leader, Brad Morrison. He's closing in 0.2 of a second a lap now as the 16. So watch out. Here comes Glenn Dog, but Mike Knutson in the number 51. You see the damage once again.
Morrison out of Moses Lake. Second place, Jake Woods of Yakima. Third place, Gary Holman right here in Wenatchee. You got the Quincy boys in 4th and 5th.
Yeah, here come the Knutson bros going after it again as Morrison trying to pull away, looking for that elusive first late model victory. Former Pro 4 Alliance champion, the Northwest Pro 4 Alliance former series that ran around here for years and years and years. Brad Morrison, the champion in that series, 4-5-time street stock champion, has not got that first late model win, but here he is leading the way, about a third of the way through this one. Many-time street stock champion, Pro 4 Alliance champion, hasn't gotten a win in the pro lates yet, but looking very strong here tonight in the 4-car. Gary Holman still hanging on to that third spot, but Glenn Knutson, the 16, is right there on the back of his brother Mike. Morrison continuing to pull away. Lap traffic beginning to fill the windshield of Morrison. First up will be Hector in the 68.
There goes Glenn making a move on Mike in 4th.
See there the Knutson brothers, Glenn in the Camaro, Mike in the Mustang. Side by side, this is for 4th. 44 laps to go for Brad Morrison, but Knutson side by side. And give it to Glenn. Not quite clear just yet. Back comes Mike on the outside.
Oh, Gary Holmack got a little loose there in turn 2, so he drops back with Glenn Knutson closing ground on him for 3rd place.
Glenn clears Mike and now going after Holman. Meanwhile, up front, Jake Woods beginning to show his hand again as he is beginning to creep back up on Brad Morrison. Looks like they decided it's go time in the 22 camp.
Oh, we got a slow car in the back of the pack here.
That is Blankenship in the 47. Remember, he's had problems throughout the course of the day. In the 47, he's going to limp it back to pit road.
Everybody is clear. Jake Woods taking a look inside, then goes outside on a crossover.
We try the crossover again, opposite here, as meanwhile Glenn Knutson up to 3rd, 4th, putting pressure for 3rd. Here comes Woods. Here comes Woods inside. Looking high now on Morrison. Morrison's up the most laps, but Jake Woods is there.
Well, Glenn Knutson's going to try the outside. Jake Woods tries the inside, goes down on the apron.
Hangs on to it. Side by side for the race lead. Lap traffic ahead. Jake Woods nose in front. Morrison led the lap. Last time by, Woods has it in front. As they come through 3 and 4, Jake Woods clears. Jake Woods back to the lead. Glenn Knutson in 4th, though, coming up on Homad. Taking a peek high as Jake Woods begins to check out. 36 laps to go. Woods trying to pull away from the rest of the field. Glenn to the outside of Homad, that's for 3rd.
Glenn Knutson trying the outside of Gary Holman, wants to take over 3rd place. They head up to turn 3. They're going to be side by side.
Lap traffic up ahead. Bart Hector Sr. did not nail the setup on the 68 car tonight, but Knutson outside of Homad. This is for 3rd. Woods still leading, pulling away a little bit now from Brad Morrison. There's the gap on screen as Knutson, believe he had 3rd at the line. Yes, he did, but still not clear of Homad just yet.
Meanwhile, this will be interesting as our leader, Jake Woods, comes up on lap traffic.
There's the 68 of Hector. Last car on the lead lap right now. You see the battle for 3rd continuing there. That is the margin. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Glenn clears Homad as Woods has caught up to Senior. And Senior just going to give him the high spot and let him go. He gets a good run on the exit there. Woods now going to get the run on the inside. Big slide out of Hector as they come down the front stretch. Jake Woods clear. Brad Morrison second. "29 laps to go. Can Jake Woods get his first win at Wenatchee?" He got a win at Yakima earlier this season and one last season to go with it. He's got a very fast 16 car closing in. If he can get around the 4 of Morrison, Glenn Knudsen will be putting pressure on before you know it.
Glenn Knudsen has just picked his way through the field and now has his eyes set on second place, trying to reel in Brad Morrison.
Remember, Knudsen's Northwest streak was snapped, but his Wenatchee streak is still very much intact. 4 in a row entering tonight. Going after Morrison for second now. 26 laps to go. Can he get up there?
Side-by-side racing for second place. Little close they come.
Bobble out of Morrison, and that's going to give second to Knudsen. Now, 25 laps to go. 2/3 of the way through this one. That is your margin between first and second. Woods, Knudsen. If this stays green, does Glenn have enough time? The margin is currently 1.6 seconds. We will monitor it as the laps wind down. Lap traffic also up ahead. It's the 63 of Gary Shales. Woods crosses strike. Knudsen was faster that lap. It's 1.5 seconds now. He shaved the 10th off. At this rate, he would catch it with 8 laps to go.
But Gary Shales is going to cause an issue for Jake Woods coming up. So Knudsen going to try to reel him in.
Another 10th, 1.4 now. Knudsen, 1/10 of a second quicker. Last 2 laps. See what it is this time. Homad has gotten around Morrison for third. Another 10th shaved off. 1.3 back now. He is closing him in at 1/10 of a second a lap. At the rate, still looking like 8 laps to go. He'll get to the bumper of Woods. 2/10 that time. 1.1. Knudsen is coming. He wants win number 5 in a row. And win number 3 at Wenatchee. Win number 4 on the season. Under a second. 9/10 of a second. 19 laps to go. And Woods is in traffic.
Woods is coming up around the outside of Gary Shales. Glenn Knudsen sniffing the distance.
That's going to cost him big. 7/10 of a second there. But now Woods has clean traffic ahead of him. And now Glenn has to get around the 63. This could open the door for Woods to get a little bit of that gap back. It was 7/10 last time by. Knudsen stuck behind the 63. Woods is able to gain another 10. 8/10 of a second now. And Glenn still stuck behind the 63. If he can get around him soon, he'll be able to go back to work. Here he is on the outside. He will get around him. But Woods was able to gain 4/10 of a second. It's back up to 1.2. But Glenn has gotten back around the 63 of Shales. Homad in third, pulling away from Morrison. And there is 2 more lap traffic ahead of Woods. Knudsen was 1/10 of a second faster again. If this happens again, this time he'll catch Woods with 4 laps to go. 15, now 14 to go for Woods right now. And Knudsen a second back. Once again, 1/10 of a second a lap for Knudsen. That is the margin right there. 13 to go at the line for Jake Woods. Glenn Knudsen coming. 8/10 of a second. Lap traffic ahead. It's Brugman and Beeman. Homad all by himself in third. Woods pulling away. Half a second. Great lap there for Glenn Knudsen. 3 seconds back to Homad. This is the battle for the race lead. 11 laps to go. Does Glenn have enough time? He will catch him. Can he pass him? 3/10 of a second.
Brugman and Beeman, those are the 2 car drivers in front of him. That's going to cause some traffic here for your leader, Jake Woods. And right behind him, Glenn Knudsen.
Who can get through the traffic better? Knudsen again shaves it off. Not as much though. At that time, just a couple thousandths. He is there. Knock, knock. Glenn Knudsen saying hello. There's 10 to go. 9 at the line for Woods.
Knudsen looks like he wants to get around him before they get to that lap traffic.
He's going to have to because he knows If he gets stuck behind traffic, if Woods can get through, that can end his night. Knudsen wants to get around Woods and control his own destiny getting through traffic. 0.2 of a second. He is there. 8 laps to go. He's peaking low. He's got to run Woods. And they crash.
Oh, my gosh.
Woods got loose. They connect, and Gary Holmad is going to inherit the race lead.
Glenn Knudsen's night is done. We'll see if Jake Woods can continue.
Oh, my goodness. Woods got loose off of turn 2. Came down right in front of Knudsen.
Just as Glenn was dipping inside to make a move into turn 3, Jake got sideways and pow, right there.
And the strongest car in the Northwest in this division has a crumpled up hood.
Now they got to see if there's any fluid on the track. It looks like there is. And that could be off of Knudsen's car.
9 laps to go, and Gary Holmad has just inherited the race lead.
I think that might be water from the...
That could be water out of the radiator. There's Andy Beeman in the 3.
Holy cow. And it looked like we were going to have just an amazing final few laps here with a battle between Jake Woods and Glenn Knudsen. Well, now you shift gears. Gary Holmad in position.
Can Gary Holmad capitalize? He's got Brad Morrison in second. Morrison was so strong early. Does he have anything left? 63 of Shales is a lap down. Third place will be Mike Knudsen. Does he have anything left in the 51?
Well, that was my prediction prior to the race. If there's anybody that's going to top Glenn Knudsen, it might be Mike, but he had some damage and has that crumpled hood, and we haven't seen any steam coming out, so good news there. That was his problem with the last time. He had a crumpled hood as he had some issues with heat in the car and overheating, so he couldn't drive it as much as he wanted to.
Floyd is going to move into 4th. Remember, that car won in Hermiston back on July 18th with Brent Harris driving it. Can Floyd get back up there in the mix? Andy Beeman will move into 6th. That caution couldn't come at a better time for Beeman and Brugman because they were about to go a lap down. 9 laps to go. The entire race just got turned on its lid here, and Holmad could be sitting pretty for a win.
Well, Gary finished 8th in the main here at the Super Oval on our first broadcast on June 27th. Was 6th in the main at WVSO back on July 11th. Now in the catbird seat.
So an 8th and a 6th this season for Holmad. Holmad leading, Morrison 2nd, Knudsen, Michael Knudsen 3rd.
Looks like the track folks agreed with our assessment that that's probably water and probably not going to cause any problems for traction for the drivers. So
notice they're going high through the corners there.
Boy, the winds continue to whip here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We got dust completely blowing through the pit area right now.
See that big cloud of dust going through there? Wow. Won the green to the line. Here we go. Gary Holmad is in prime position for a win here at Wenatchee if he can hold on for 9 more laps. That move around Morrison, we didn't even see it on screen, could prove to be the race-winning move. Here we go. Morrison right up on the bumper of Holmad. They're going high. Here we go. Green flag in the air. 9-lap shootout.
Michael Knudsen also taking a peek inside behind the second-place driver.
That's exactly what Holmad wants to see in his mirror. Knudsen to the inside of Morrison. Although, if he gets it too early, Beeman contact with Floyd. If Knudsen can get around Morrison, he might be able to get up there and make some noise with Holmad. There's 8 to go. Knudsen lost the momentum there.
Great start for Gary Holmad on the restart here and taking advantage. Just 6 laps remaining.
6 to go, and Holmad trying to pull away. 5 at the line for Gary Holmad, but here comes Brad Morrison working back, Beeman sliding. Hangs on to it. Jake Woods trying to slice through the field. Brad Morrison is there, ladies and gentlemen. He is knocking on the door of Gary Holmad for the win here at Wenatchee. Holmad able to pull away a little bit there. Morrison hanging tight, 4 to go, a trophy dash left. And Holmad pulling away from Morrison just a little bit here. Does Morrison have anything left in the 4-car? Holmad leading, Morrison second. That's your battle for the race win right there as Knutson has lost touch. Big send out of Morrison. Should be 2 to go this time. Correction, 3 to go. Nope, white flag coming.
Morrison giving it all he can, coming up to turn 3.
Right on the bumper, white flag, 1 to go, they touch. Holmad slides. Can Morrison get there? He's gonna have one final shot going into turn 3. He's taking the peek inside. Get to the bumper. Holmad's gonna hold on and get the win. Gary Holmad holds on. And Morrison goes around at the line, but he still finishes second. Gary Holmad gets it done in Wenatchee. Second place, Brad Morrison slides across the line. Your race winner right there, Gary Holmad in the 6.
How about that? Michael Knutson will cross the line, finishing 3rd here tonight in our Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models. It looked like it was going to be a Jed's showdown with Glenn Knutson. But no, with under 15 laps to go, the two collide, both have to lead, and then the finish is for Gary Holmad, and he was able to hang on for the victory here tonight at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval in our final main event of the evening. As you look down, you see the crumpled hood of Michael Knutson, who finishes in 3rd place. And there, assuming his position with a lot of fresh dust all over the hood of that car, is our 2nd place finisher, Brad Morrison. Those are your finishers, your top 3 for the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models here tonight at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. We've got Greg heading down towards the start-finish line. We've got Marion helping out with our camera down there. We also have Josiah going to run the camera when they get unstrapped and take the helmets off and climb out of the vehicles. And what a 75-lap main event here tonight for our finale at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. How about that? So it takes a while for these guys to climb out of the vehicle, that's for sure. After the spin for Brad Morrison, looks like he might need a little help coming out of the vehicle.
Taking the safety gear off. Winner here at Wenatchee, Gary Holmad.
Too bad we
celebrating
don't have a
for the
crowd
millions here in attendance. And Gary, come on around here. Gary, when you got around Brad Morrison for 3rd there, you were kind of just hanging back thinking, you know, boy, sure hope something happens. Something happened, and all of a sudden, you found yourself in the lead there at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty fortunate for sure. You know, I really got to thank KMS Homes, Majestic Cascades, Mountain View Irrigation, Triways. Man, what a night. My guys, Corey and the guys, are just awesome. They just keep plugging at this. We're really probably a 6th, 7th place car, and we just tinker with it and make it go faster.
Gary, when you're in 3rd and then all of a sudden something like that happens and the top 2 are wrecked out and all of a sudden you find yourself in the lead in a duel with Brad Morrison, what goes through your head on that caution when you're like, oh gosh, all of a sudden I'm in the race lead with 9 to go?
Well, it's good to be lucky for sure, but you got to put yourself in the position when the luck happens, then you take advantage of it and you end up in 1st place.
Gary, 3rd start back here in the number 6, and it's your 1st win back in Wenatchee. It's been quite some time since you've been in Wenatchee Valley Super Oval Victory Lane.
Yeah, last win I believe was in 2009, and in the Northwest Outlaw Street Stocks, and it's I'm at home when I'm at the racetrack, and I know my dad's smiling up above.
All right, you already thanked your sponsors, but it's a win for the number 6, Gary Holmad. Congratulations. And coming home with the second place, he needed a mask because he said he wasn't planning on being here on the podium. But Brad Morrison, what an effort for you tonight, giving it all you had and clearly then some after.
Yep, no, we first time here in this car and this year, so we kind of were working the bugs out all night long.
And Brad, tell us about that battle, because I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Gary. When all of a sudden something happens and you find yourself in a position to have a shot at the win here.
Well, we were pretty good. I was pretty surprised there. And then about 3/4 of the way through, the brakes started going to the floor and it would lock up. So I really had nothing until that last caution, and then I thought we could go race for the win there. I did get into the back of the 6, but I lifted and let him gather it because that's not how we race.
All right, well, Brad, a second place here tonight in your first start of the year, giving it all you had, sliding across the line. But a big one here, who you want to thank?
We got a Mountain View Polaris, Platt Farms, WG Melcher. We got my kids came to the race today, so that's pretty cool. So, yep.
Second place, Brad Morrison. And a rally for third with a crumpled hood is the number 51 of Mike Knutson. And Mike, definitely a roller coaster day, but it's a podium for you.
Yeah, I didn't really deserve it, but it's all right. We had an okay car.
Well, Mike, an up and down battle up there, contending there with these guys up here, Homad, Morrison. Brugman was up there for a little bit, and side-by-side racing throughout the course of the day. And, boy, with a crumpled hood, what's the visibility like when you got something going on like that?
It doesn't matter. I got a good spotter. My brother, Christopher Knutson, he's pretty good. He guided me through it.
Well, it's another podium for you here at Wenatchee, and a solid run for the points. But who do you want to thank?
I got to thank Knutson General Contracting, Knutson Construction, MFK Livestock. I got to thank my wife and all my kids, James, Bristol, Tyson, Corbin, Keegan, and Lily. I got to thank all of them for putting up with me. I got to thank my mom and everybody that helped me out. I got to thank my little brother Glenn for setting up the car, and Garrett for hell of a man that he is, and everything that he helps me out with the car on.
Third place, Mike Knutson bringing it home. Well, that wraps it up here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will wrap things up here at Wenatchee.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll wrap that up for you right after this timeout.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their Laser Shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Well, it was a windy and wild night here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. The 5 classes are in the books. Congratulations to our winners here tonight. Jordan Mullins out of Natchez winning in the Bandaleros. The Mountain Dew Junior late model win tonight went to Evan Getz out of Okanagan. The winner in the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Car main event tonight was East Wenatchee's Seth Frazier. The Plumb Perfect Roadrunner Championship fell for James Norman out of Yakima. And in our race that was just concluded, a wild finish in the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro late models. Congratulations to Gary Homad. Hung on for the final 9 laps after a restart to get the checkered flag and a win here at the Super Oval tonight. Greg Rentz, final comments from you before we wrap up the broadcast.
What just happened? I mean, that was such an insane race. You saw Jake Woods, Brad Morrison trading the lead there in the early stages, and here comes Glenn Knutson closing in, and here we are getting geared up for an insane battle between Woods and Knutson, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything changed. And Gary Homad, right place, right time. First win back, he said, in 11 years since he's won a race at this racetrack.
That's incredible. Well, thank you for your work again here tonight, both in the booth and down on the track. And we'll hopefully see you again on the 22nd.
Got to wait and see what's going on in Hermiston to figure it out for sure. But hopefully we'll be back here.
Well, and 3 more races to go here tonight or for this season at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. And we will have you covered right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Thanks to our crew for doing the broadcast here tonight, to our studio engineer, Uriah Darby, to our on-site producer, Malcolm Whitehall. Also to cameras tonight, Dan Kuntz, Josiah Davison, William Vanderzee, and Matthew Moore. And, of course, always thank you to my best person ever, my wife, and camera number 2 and runner here tonight, Marion Granstrom. That's going to wrap it up for our broadcast here this evening. Thanks for wherever you have been watching all across the country and all across the world as we wrap up Les Schwab nights here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you again here on August 22nd. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching tonight's live coverage of racing at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by CASA of Shalana Douglas County. Make a change in a child's life. And East Wenatchee Mini Mobile Storage, Wenatchee Valley's premier storage facility. Our coverage was also a presentation of our all sports sponsors: Harvest Valley Pest Control, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Confluence Health, Les Schwab Tire Center, Biosports Physical Therapy, Impact Auto Sales, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Town Toyota, Automoca, JDSA Law, Weinstein Beverage Company, and Alignment Pros and Express Lube. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. Thanks for watching.